The salty vets have a point. You guys deserve to be served. You guys have been a huge part of keeping this game alive, and you have a lot of power in forming the social media message around a game. Let's be honest. It's extremely important for PlanetSide. What's up, y'all? I'm Deeg. This is Basement Side Weekly. Today, I'm here to talk about PlanetSide 2 Outfit Wars and the culture wars that are underpinning some of the dramatic happenings of this weekend. Today is March 1st, and over the weekend, we had some Outfit Wars matches from the pre-playoff section of the new structure, and there's been some drama. But before I get to the drama, I want to back it up a little bit and share a couple things to just get everyone up to date on the same page. And I'll be honest, this is going to help me out because, full disclosure, I'm something of a PlanetSide outsider at the moment. I've not been playing it daily for a little while, but I'm always keeping tabs on it, and I have been spending some time getting up to speed on this. Anyway, let's have a look at an early retrospective from Rel that he penned about a week ago, after some of the initial Outfit Wars matches had been played. Is this big enough to see? We're just going to go with this. Okay. Outfit Wars, an early retrospective. Hey there, folks. Forks? Hey there, folks. It's been an exciting and frantic past couple weeks here for the dev team. With this last alpha test released of Outfit Wars, we've already gotten loads of feedback, observed bugs and edge cases that we hadn't accounted for, as well as loads of hype and enthusiasm surrounding the events. In the post below, I'm going to break down the issues we've noticed so far and share what our plans are for addressing them. Before jumping into that, though, let's look at some of the participation stats for the event so far. I'm not going to read this. This is easy enough to find. It looks like the headline is almost 4,000 players have played on Desolation, which is pretty impressive sounding, honestly. Given that the daily totals of unique players on Steam chart is like in like the 2,000 and 3,000 range most of the time, I think. And a total of 165 outfits on the scoreboard, not including the ones who didn't make it past the pending status. Not sure if that includes no-shows. And here's some of the breakdown. It looks like the server with the most activity is Connery, followed by Emerald, Miller, Cobalt, and Soltech. Anyway, let's see what some of the takeaways early on from Rel are going to be. Let's get on to the road bumps we've experienced along the way. Accidental enlistments and ghost outfits. So this is going to be some growing pains. Outfit Wars, in the way that they're deploying it this year, is doing some stuff that PlanetSide's never done. Matchmaking, scheduled events, things like that. This is the issue that has had the most impact into week 1 and will most likely follow into week 2. A fair amount of outfits with no intention of playing an Outfit Wars have mentioned accidentally signing up with a bit of doing. It's easy enough to create or enlist with fake or alternate outfits as well. This resulted in a fair amount of no-show behaviors, and that's no fun to get matched with. Matches will continue to increase in quality as each round passes, but we'd like to avoid this sort of behavior from the outset. Discussions of a withdrawal mechanic have come up a fair amount, but the issue at its source is now the outfits can't leave if they accidentally sign up, but instead that these outfits are even signing up in the first place, right? So this kind of speaks to some of the structure you need surrounding an event like Outfit Wars, some of the systems and infrastructure you need in place. It's a lot. It's not simple to do these things. The way we currently plan to resolve this is by making sure that an outfit is able to allocate all the necessary players before they enter the enlistment queue. The process starts with an outfit member with the correct privileges initiating the enlistment per usual. At this point, instead of forwarding you to the pending or enlisted state, 48 players will be required to sign up for the war. When your enlistment is validated, all the members in your queue will then be locked to that outfit. For the remainder of the war, and your outfit will then enter the enlisted state, continuing to flow as normal. If your outfit can't field enough signups to participate when the enlistment phase completes, you won't enter the enlisted state, and your outfit's enlistment costs will be refunded, provided you have the space. So they're just adding a secondary measure where there are 48 people who commit. I think I heard somewhere else that that this is not going to be requiring that those 40 people who commit are the 40 who play. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a security deposit. It's like showing, hey, I can back up my commitment here. Makes sense. That'll help. It's little improvements like that sadly, I think, are really being latched on by some in the community. But let's continue. I did call this show Culture Wars for a reason. We're going to get to that. Match time visibility. When enlistments took place, we noticed too late that we'd have issues showing players match times early enough. Yeah, people were getting match times like within like the same day they were supposed to play, which, is just a failure in logistics. I'm not going to get into details here. They're going to try to fix it. Fine. Sounds good, Rel. Server times versus Pacific Standard Time. PST? PTS? Okay. Using both those acronyms side by side here. A bug from the PTS, which is the player test server, that unfortunately made it live that we were showing local match times instead of Pacific Standard Time timings for the tooltip stated. So this is just presentation of the schedule. In the future, I'll be using server time offsets to play nice with how our code works, a task that requires a fair amount of... Wow, this is a lot of ink to spill over communicating times. Oh, here we go. Last of the discussion surrounding match times in particular. Originally, we'd scheduled match times that were intended to avoid draining the sandbox while matches were in progress. We don't want alternate game modes to detract from the core of a PlanetSide's known force. We were being extra cautious, perhaps too much so, as strong feedback indicated that many players wouldn't be able to attend those times, and well, we do actually want you to be able to play. The issue is easy enough to clean up, as match times are sometimes something we can modify, provided it happens before the actual round has started. Soltec has a couple spikes for high player populations. We're still trying to feed out exactly what best times. Yeah. Yep. Okay, makes sense. So they're working through what the timing should be for each server. Obviously, prime time is going to be best for most servers, but that's also the time you perhaps at least want to peel people away. Illander says, worth noting, they also moved Soltec times back 1 hour after feedback from players in the server. Sure. So this is a work in progress. Alpha, right? Matchmaking issues. The first round of matches in Outfit Wars take all the enlisted outfits and then randomize their pairings. This helps avoid match fixing and other issues that come from players being able to pick their time slots. Subsequent rounds, however, are match made based on an outfit's record, and ties are broken using an internal mechanism based around match performance and the quality of the matchup. The gist of it is, the harder you fight in quality matches, the more likely you are to end up in a higher place while breaking a tie. Ooh. I don't know if you want the tie-breaking logic to seem so fuzzy. That's going to enrage some people. There are a couple of issues with how our event plays out currently. The first is that we didn't have enough qualifier rounds for this test cycle. In retrospect, we should have had at least 3. Season 1's intended to be 10 rounds total, and there should be a lot of movements by outfits up and down the scoreboard. So what we're doing now is a truncated version of what they're hoping to see post-alpha, it seems. Due to the current 2-match qualifications this time around, however, some outfits who have been fighting hard may end up getting cut by the ones that got a bye due to no-shows, which is a shitty outcome. The second issue is that our tie-breaking system was broken in the first round. We don't want to share much about how this works if your players gaming the system. Yeah. Yep. Always a problem. But we have noticed that our system was giving certain outfits too much weight. The result has been that certain outfits were paired up in identical matches 2 weeks, week 2 as they were in week 1. We've had a beat on this issue and are working to prevent it in the future. Third, though not specifically related to matchmaking, is that some matches were ending up in a state of indefinite play. This resulted in a Connery outfit finishing a match against some no-shows, but not getting a first-place bump for doing so. We have a fix for this issue, and matches should no longer end up in the dreaded in-progress state forever. Okay. Yeah, growing pains, again. All stuff that seems pretty reasonable. I want to launch into a commentary in my mind about what the proper appetite for a community like Planet Size should be for experiencing content like this in a raw state for being testers. But I'm not sure where I land on it. I'm just going to think about that while we continue. Overall, Alpha 3 was released earlier than we should have let it go, and some of these issues would have become quickly apparent if we weren't in such a rush to get the first update of the year out. Why were they in a rush? So it's a bit bittersweet to be writing all this up, but the results of the enthusiasm surrounding the events thus far have helped confirm that there is a place in the game for this kind of system. If we can clean up the bugs and continue to polish, Outfit Wars will be on track to provide a cadence of excitement and tension that can help fuel the game's overall growth. So it occurs to me that I haven't explained what Outfit Wars is or does, for those of y'all who are not PlanetSide fans. Forever, PlanetSide has been a game that's been fought on open world sandbox continents. And for the first time, Outfit Wars provided a way that was created by and hosted by the game itself to have PlanetSide gameplay outside the sandbox. And what that looks like is playing on a continent called Desolation at a specific time at a scheduled time for a specific amount of time, and playing in a constrained fashion with 48 versus 48 versus 48. That's right. It's not 1v1, which is one of the big topics in the community right now, and probably will be indefinitely. And one of the things that Rel said here, results and enthusiasm surrounding the events thus far have helped confirm that there is a place in the game for this kind of system. So despite a lot of the drama that I'm going to get to, one of the overall sentiments that I've been reading is that people actually enjoy playing in Outfit Wars, which by itself is actually a pretty big win. If people actually enjoy playing in Outfit Wars, and they can work out the kinks about the infrastructure and do a better job of signaling to people how they should engage with Outfit Wars and enforcing whatever they put out there, then this has the potential to be a meaningful system that really provides long-term value to PlanetSide, I think. But not everyone agrees. What does the future of Outfit Wars hold? This alpha cycle in its entirety will give us a much better understanding of where we'll want to go in the future. It will tell us a lot about the potential for burnout and gauge interest past the honeymoon phase. It will expose flaws we may not have come across yet, and it'll give us a better understanding of how the outfit culture is being shaped when the desire to compete intersects the need to recruit more members. Once we've ironed out the kinks of the system, we can very quickly attempt new rules for a season. Attempting matches at different player counts, create new play spaces to compete in. Air-only space combat amidst an asteroid belt could be fun. Wow, that's a fucking tease. That sounds pretty cool. Or maybe even give outfits the potential to schedule private matches, grudge matches. That's a neat idea. That said, let's start from where we are at now and see where we should take this. Hopefully this gives everyone some insight into the state of Outfit Wars and how we're planning to address some of the concerns with Alpha 3 and beyond. Thanks, folks. Rel, lead designer. I don't think that's Rel's title anymore, is it? I also shout out to the people who did coverage. Illander says, I think that's likely due to how much they have planned for this year. They promised a lot in their 2021 roadmap at the end of the year. Yeah, so that's in reference to the emphasis on getting this update out early and how it was rushed, I think, Illander. And yeah, I hope you're right about that. I also reacted to that live stream they did. And one of my big takeaways from it was that it looked like a lot of the things they wanted to do this year were still in a quite conceptual stage of development. So And at the time, I speculated that Outfit Wars might be taking more developer resources than they wanted them to, and might be pushing some of these things back. Hope I'm wrong about that. We'll have to see. You suspect also the changes in leadership over the last few months have affected that too. Yeah, I think you're right. So, Rogue Planet Games, which was previously answering to, which is a part of Daybreak Games, which was owned by the Daybreak publisher. Like, honestly, this is such word salad to me. Daybreak was a company that bought the PlanetSide studio, including a few other studios and related properties like EverQuest and H1Z1 from Sony Online Entertainment back in, I think, like 2015 or maybe 2016. It's a long time ago. And now it's been sold again to EG7, a publisher who we don't know much about. Some relevant bits of context about that, I think, is looking at the way that the messaging we heard from the developers on the RPG team at the start of last year, when things were reorganized into Rogue Planet Games and the size of their studio increased dramatically. We heard testimonials about how they were able to focus on on building the game out, how they had a lot of freedom about how to approach it. I'm really massively paraphrasing and testing my memory, so I might be somewhat misrepresenting this, but the spirit of it was enthusiasm and excitement about the arrangement they were in. We haven't seen any such professions of enthusiasm from the folks working on PlanetSide under the new leadership. And we have seen the exit of the executive producer, Andy Seitz. We don't know under what circumstances that happened. So it's pretty reasonable to suspect that there's a change in marching orders of some kind that we don't know about yet. But then again, maybe there's just a period of reorganization where nobody knows what's going on, and it's just, business as usual. Could be wrong. Just reading the room. From the outside, it looks like there's a lot of pressure on the lead developer to also be the head of development team, despite not having much experience in the position, to my knowledge. Lead designer. You're talking about Rel. Yeah. Rel is now heading up ops. He's taken on more responsibility within the studio. He is doing, I think, wearing a lot of hats, if I had to guess. It seems like he has someone at the same level on the technical side. Someone whose name escapes me, I apologize, but Rel has always been, sorry, not always been. Rel for years has been, I think, perhaps the indispensable man behind the curtain at PlanetSide. And I've heard folks talk earnestly, developers talk earnestly about how the game might not be the way it is today without him. How back in 2016 and 2017, when there was a directive to make PlanetSide profitable or else, Rel helped figure out implants. And his long-term stated goal is to grow PlanetSide, bring more players in. Is what's happening in EG7 going to be changing that? Going to be muting that vision? I don't know. I think it's also well, there's going to be more dimensions to this. I'm going to get to with looking over some of the VODs from the weekend. Illander says, you may recall that at the beginning of 2020, the escalation update was pushed back multiple times while Andy was in charge because the team believed it wasn't ready. Perhaps knowing when to delay content is something that comes with experience. Yeah, Illander, I think that you could be right there. I think that one of the things that's really hard in this situation is guessing at the way that Rel's environment looks, right? The fundamental attribution error is a fancy way of essentially attributing a behavior to a trait of the person you're seeing the behavior from rather than something about that person's environment. Hey, what's up, Lex? Yep, here I am. I'm gonna wade through this shit and see how it all works. Deeg Planetside, wow, retail gamer, man. I'm a massive gamer. I know how to play games. Hashtag gaming. I should pronounce some emojis out loud, literally. That'll improve my credibility, right? But yeah, so I look at Rel and what can be ascribed as his behavior, because he's the biggest voice. And although, and I'm not able to fully give him either kudos for the good things or blame for the bad things we've seen, because there's so much going on behind the scenes that we don't have a damn clue about. Now, whose job is it? Is it to clue us in? You could argue that it's up to Rel to clue us in, and he does try. You could also argue that we are owed better communication about the direction of the game from the publisher, who actually makes a lot of these top-down directives. I don't know. This is actually a bigger discussion about how we talk about games, and one of my hobby horse topics of gamers have, I think, one of the biggest voices in the conversation about games right now because of technology like this that lets a dude like me sit down in his living room and hold forth and get as much attention as my message deserves, which at the moment seems to be not much. In any case, I think you're highlighting an important dynamic, Illander. So let's continue in our little narrative. This was a message that Rel sent out about a week ago. The juicy stuff happened this weekend. So, next data point. How obnoxious is this? Okay. Rel wrote this the 28th. That's yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. Lots of great games on Desolation over the weekend, as well as one not so great one on Connery. I'll speak with the team later this week to determine how we want to resolve it. At the end of the day, we want an event that's fun and fair-ish for everyone. What's Rel talking about? Well, let's have a look. If I can find the right buttons to press, that'd be great.
It's going to be a big match.
The match in question. I'm going to show Shoctorr's POV because Shoctorr has kind of put himself at the center of this conversation. He was not the official caster for this match, but he was able to gain access, and he did highlight a lot of Outfit War stuff. And Shoctorr is a guy I respect a lot. And we're going to see a lot of humanity in the next little bit here from him and from a lot of other folks. But this is the start of the match. It's R18 versus Recursion versus the Space Pigs. And some context to understand if you're an outsider is that Recursion is a bit of a divisive group of players that are, just generally speaking, all quite highly skilled. And they're divisive because there's a tendency to misapprehend skill in a game like PlanetSide. Its proper application and whether or not it's legit or whether it's something underhanded. And they go do their thing, and they seem to have made a few enemies. So one of the enemies that Recursion has made is Pale Tiger, who is the leader of the Space Pigs. And we're going to hear from him. So Pigs are playing red, they're TR. Recursion is playing purple, they're Vanu. And then R18, which is not that I'm not super duper familiar with, but which we'll hear more from, are playing NC as blue. This is the start of the match. We're going to watch clips from the happenings, and I'm going to dip in and out.
Event ended. Outfit Wars pre-match. Alert started, waiting for the shields to go down, and the match is now underway. Everybody going in. The ants are rolling out. The Colossi. This is going to be crazy. Watching the air squad going first. Everybody's flying into their respective areas. An instant bail here. Gonna flip the Charlie point. The Bravo point already flipping, and look at the air platoon here.
All right. So this is Desolation. For the outsiders, it's made for one faction versus one faction versus one faction, which with each faction there, you can see the map having 48 people. And you accrue points by capturing territory. I think there used to be some points accrual for killing things, although I think that they got rid of it. I'm not up on the details of how it's scored anymore. The match takes, as you can see, there's an hour timer. Although I think that people hit the point max before the timer elapses. And you fight until someone wins. It's a set piece match in PlanetSide using everything from PlanetSide. You're going to see construction, plenty of air, some tanks, sunderers, infantry gameplay, maybe not as prevalent as many would prefer, but it's all here. It's PlanetSide on a smaller scale. So, where did things start to go strange? So this is about 7 or 8 minutes into the match.
But all of this air to ground, it's literally like, it's 39% pop holding against 61. These tanks can't do anything. They're getting absolutely annihilated again. Pigs needs to find a new strat here, or else they will struggle and end up losing. And it looks like a Recursion guy here on the ground gonna go for the 1v7. All of these vehicles, he's doing the Therum shuffle, and it works out for him. He's on the ground. Can he take out Chuck Baller? Chuck Baller's on fire, and he's dead. What a play. Oh, my God.
Look at it. Beautiful.
Exploiting the Therum shuffle, and now the
he
rest
took out
of these
2
Pigs
tanks
vehicles,
on
once again,
foot.
are going to get destroyed.
So good.
And taking a look at it now, Hosk still being taken. Ebri, 10 seconds left. Does Recursion have what it takes to take it back here? Or will Hosk also be, excuse me, Ebri, the I point, fuck you. I'm not saying any of your stupid ass names anymore. Will the I point be taken by R18? And it looks like it will. Renegade 18 gonna take this point now. 130 to 94 to 54. Once again, I'm not seeing much presence from Pale Tiger's Pigs team, allowing this Pharaoh's point to continue to be taken for free. And now Etna being I swear to God, if they let Etna go, that is so obvious that they're just throwing to make sure Recursion doesn't win. If they literally let them take this, then that's just so obvious. Like what a great format. Hey, Rel, I hope you're watching. Great format. You're doing great work for the game. I absolutely love it when the best teams lose because the other teams have more people.
Whoa. Whoa. There's a lot in that statement. Blaming Rel. Being upset that the best players aren't winning. These are going to be common themes as we watch Shoctorr's coverage going forward. Suffice to say, he's not happy. And you can all judge for yourselves whether you think what he says is appropriate or not. I'm a little more interested in the underlying forces, which we're going to talk about. But I got to make the case a little bit more first.
But we'll see. This guy looking to come in, but maybe Pale Tiger telling him in comms right now, hey, let him take it. Just let him take it. If he redeploys, I swear to God. If he redeploys, bro. Okay, he didn't. Will they take this point back? The E point just being ghost capped. The E point being ghost capped with 8% pop, but all the vehicles just going right past. And nothing. They're not touching the point at all. And he did redeploy. He's gone.
Collusion. Yeah.
And yep.
So this is what this match is all about. This is all about the Space Pigs. Lord Tiger and his space pigs throwing the match. Throwing the match in order to be sure that Recursion didn't win. Stop the steal. Will they succeed? I'm not really actually trying to present this in like a dramatic fashion, so I'm going to spoil it. Yeah, they succeed. But it's also R18 throwing, yes. So one of the things we're going to get to in a couple clips is hearing the R18 case as presented on Arshee's stream, because they did do a post-match interview where they explained their logic of why they chose to approach the match this way. It's quite interesting. It's quite fascinating. But we're going to start here with this. Shoctorr's anger. And I'm going to put out an idea here that I've been thinking about all day. As I've been watching Shoctorr, and I like his content. It is this great thing where he arranges these competitions on the live server where he puts something on fire. It smells okay. Anyway, there is an anger expressed not just by Shoctorr, but by others in the community. Just let Tacoma burn. Yes. And I want to try to unpack some of that anger, because it's not ill-founded, even if we can debate the merits of the way it's expressed. What I can tell you about Shoctorr that I know is that in addition to what you see here in front of you, he's someone who really likes the hardcore, high-skill infantry part of the game, which is a part of the game I love too. It's the part that I gravitated to when I was a daily PlanetSide player. Whenever I would play PlanetSide seriously for, a few months at a time, I would pick an outfit that I wanted to join. I'd make it my mission to join them, and I'd get in. This is the way I always played video games up until the last year and a half or so. I would always try to find the most skilled people and become one of them, because I really cared about skill. And Shoctorr is someone who really cares about skill. And he's going to present this game as a miscarriage of a just outcome where a skilled team wins.
Pale Tiger and Pigs.
We're going to watch this clip for another couple minutes, and then we're going to fast forward.
Just going to absolutely ignore that and continue driving forward over to the Recursion bases. Oh my God, this is... You can't write this. If they let this cap, I swear to God, bro, it's literally collusion. They're letting them take it. They're literally letting them take it. R18 looking to win with strategic alliances. This is, again, you know what? You guys are stupid, all right? You guys might think that this is allowing them to win, but this is a strategic alliance. If you have ever played a game more difficult, because your brains are very small. Your brains are very small. All of
small
your viewers,
brains.
you guys just don't
Can't
understand,
confirm.
okay? I have played games such as Stellaris, where I make strategic alliances. It looks like Pale Tiger and R18 have made a strategic alliance here to ensure that nobody wins if they are actually the team that should win. And with 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left, Etna gonna be ghost capped by R18. An absolute beautiful cap by R18. What a capture.
Yeah, so this is the point right next to the home point for the Pigs. They were standing at the point. They let it go. Just giving up all their territory to give more points to Blue. You hate to see it. I actually hate to see it, and I'm not going to defend that shit. But again, we're not here to say right and wrong. We're here to talk about the trends and forces at play. Agreed, Illander. Agreed. Okay.
Actually talk to them after the match, if possible.
See if I got this timestamp right.
So is this Rel's fault? Shouldn't Pigs be to blame for not playing competitively? No, this is the thing. This is the development team's fault, because this is a capability. They first each other last week, and then they got demolished, right? So now they versed each other again this week, and now what were you expecting? How is this not the devs' fault at all? How is this not the developer's fault at all?
It's actually a good question. How is this not the developer's fault? And there actually are a couple arguments, although I have not really heard them presented in a way that's compelling. And I'm just going to be devil's advocate here for 1 second. Not because I disagree with him necessarily, but because it's worth examining what he's putting forth in opposition to an perhaps, well, just other way to look at it. And that's to say that in competitive esports, misconduct happens all the time. In fact, there are reporting features in games with public matchmaking where you can report people for throwing games, you can report people for verbal abuse, you can report people for doing all kinds of shit, for cheating, for exploiting, all that stuff. And what we're seeing here from the Space Pigs is that they are not trying to win the game. They're violating a sort of unwritten ethic. And the problem is that it is unwritten. And one of the things I think Rel will go on to acknowledge in some of the stuff we're going to examine later on is an acknowledgement of saying, hey, we didn't do a good enough job messaging how people should engage with Outfit Wars, which I think is true. I think it's true. It was rushed, and clearly it's an alpha, but still, if you take the time to say, here's what we expect you to do, and then something like this happens, that provides you with a reason to take action. Whereas if you don't lay that out, then suddenly you're making an arbitrary seeming judgment. So you got to put out your intention, what you expect from people before they engage. And this is going to be a lesson learned for Rel. Hopefully they take it forward. I think there is a fair argument to be made that it could be appropriate not to change the format to prevent this kind of thing from happening, but to take action against people who act this way. Because this is quite unambiguous. It's quite unambiguous. One of the things that Recursion has talked about, reflecting on this, is that there's a difference between a soft collusion and a hard collusion. Soft collusion is like, okay, like they're really focused on one primary target. And is perhaps a natural thing to happen in a three-sided conflict. Hard collusion is where they're not actually playing the game the way it's presented, which is what's happening here. Giving up Etna with no effort is something that no sane team who was trying to be victorious would ever do. Lex says, against the spirit of competition, bam. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Illander, placing sole blame on the developers ignores the context of the outfits involved and how the exact same situation played out differently on other servers. Yes. Yes. So there is some ability to, I think, hold the community accountable for their behavior. I think what we're going to primarily see from Shoctorr, and more of the clips I'm going to show, is that he's very, very focused on how holding developers accountable, and specifically Rel. I think he uses Rel as a shorthand. Or perhaps not. It's really unclear. And I think Shoctorr could do us a favor by clarifying that for us. But there is a lot of anger at the developers and at Rel. And I think perhaps this is not so much what people are very angry about, but it's kind of like a flashpoint or a straw breaking the camel's back kind of situation for a certain part of the community of which Shoctorr is a part. And I recognize that, and I get it.
They made the format. Don't hate the players, hate the game. It's literally, it's the easiest thing to understand in the...
Don't hate the player, hate the game is something that we need to write down. Or hate both. Yeah, well, if I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all, right, Illander? Don't hate the player, hate the game is an interesting thing to say, because I think that we can see Rel's role as being itself a player in a game. And for him, the game is creating PlanetSide. And it's very fascinating to watch some passionate players excuse behavior by saying, my intentions are good and I love the game. So it's okay if I speak out and say mean, negative, disrespectful things. But then hold Rel accountable. So they hold Rel accountable for outcomes, but they only hold themselves accountable for their intentions. I don't think that's what people want to do. But my sense is that they're struggling to get what they, to see what they love in the game be recognized. And Outfit Wars is just a big stage.
Planet. You're gonna actively try to keep punishing people because you made the format easy to rig in the first place? Like, this is a community self-correction? Wait, what do you mean? This is people taking advantage of something that the devs made because it's easy to do that. By the way, thank you guys so much for the follows. I appreciate it. Disenfranchised, Leon with the follow, Redolent with the follow, Megatron Attack with the follow, and Red Dog with the follow. Thank you so much. They won't let Recursion win at all because they hate him. I know. But the thing is, the fact that they have the ability to do this in the first place is what makes this the developer's fault. It doesn't matter.
I'm just thinking about that. There's fault to go around, I think, right?
Matter if you hate the other team. Other teams, like, people hate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are like football fans or something, but people hate Tom Brady. But two teams don't play against one team to make sure Tom Brady doesn't win. Why did they? What did they even do?
Okay, I think we've seen enough from this part of the cast. Lex, there's a huge hidden hand problem with this game. Yeah. Yeah. And I think you can get away with a hidden hand when things are going kind of okay, or when when the vocal part of your fan base is kind of satisfied. With Shoctorr becoming a more popular streamer in the PlanetSide section, which admittedly is sparse, what we're seeing, I think, is a bigger platform for players who have already been upset for a while. It not seeing what they love about the game honored by how it's continued. And I get it. Look, Outfit Wars, I interviewed a bunch of people last year about Outfit Wars, and people were excited. They were coming back to check it out. There was a feeling that PlanetSide could kind of grow. And I think in a lot of ways, with the Outfit Wars and being followed up by things like the Colossus and the campaign system and the mission system, that these players have felt unserved by a lot of the new surge in development interest and ability with RPG. And we saw Outfit Wars go away and come back. And it's done so in a way that doesn't answer any of the complaints of hardcore elite players who are vocal and active and passionate, and who have an ability to control the social media conversation about a game in a way that the silent majority never will. So where are we? Okay, there's one more clip from the cast, I think. What have I got here? Let's try that again.
Is Recursion VS? Yeah, they're on VS right now. Bro, good players get accused of hacking all the time by people who don't understand the mechanics. You absolutely have to provide hard proof because most people aren't educated enough to understand what cheating actually looks like. Dude, if you can aim better than me, you're a cheater. It's super simple.
I just thought that could be repeated. So Shoctorr is being sarcastic and parodizing the point of view of players who look at skilled players in the game and accuse them of hacking. And we're about to hear from one of those players, and his name is Pale Tiger. It's worth highlighting. By and large, the people who delete you in PlanetSide are not hacking. And accusing them of it is toxic. It's bad for the game. It's bad for the community. It's bad for yourself. And it all in all degrades the quality of the experience and its integrity. It's not good, man. All right. This is good. So later in this stream, Shoctorr goes back and he actually watches the VOD of one of the Space Pigs players who is under the whip of Pale Tiger participating in this match. And this is just going to kind of elaborate the picture, flesh out some detail of what's going on. And I think it's morbidly interesting.
Actually, let me click this. What is this? This match is kind of boring.
Don't shoot at the NC base, guys. Don't shoot at blue.
Ah, sorry.
This is Chuck Baller. He's the guy who got blown up in his tank by the recursion guy on foot earlier. This is just incredible.
Fuck.
Tell me, go make.
Far out.
This
Turn up
makes
a
it
little
look
bit.
bad, you know. I gotta do it a couple times. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. Right? You do what I tell you to do.
Did I tell you to do that? Voice is Pale Tiger.
No, but we're throwing it. We're throwing it, right?
Remember that. Okay? So everybody, remember that. I'll take the responsibility. This is all
I was here. Pog you. I was here.
Remember, guys, I plead the fifth, and anything may incriminate me.
Don't shoot the ant.
Yep. I'm just listening to somebody else. That means I'm not in trouble. Isn't that what the never mind, I'm not gonna make a World War II, but you guys know exactly what I was gonna say. Isn't that what motherfuckers said during World War II? Average planet gamer.
It is.
Personally, I think we should just fucking play the game.
So this is fascinating. This Chuck Baller guy who plays the game out and helps throw doesn't want to throw. How many other people on Space Pigs don't want to throw, but do because they're being ordered to do it? It's fascinating. And it just shows it. Outcome versus intention. And the tension between those two things. It ain't simple. And it ain't simple, man.
Just my opinion. I think we should just said fuck NC and play the game proper.
Ooh, but you're not. Bad news. And you not doing that is enough for you. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. You're not. Never mind.
What the hell?
Shoctorr is hating the player, not the game.
It does my head in.
It does my head in, bruv. We can just watch the VOD now.
See, that's what I'm saying. If we kept 5 bases and hold them, then we run down their points, and we actually would win.
They just got a gal right behind us. Turn around, guys.
Well, I know, but we're...
Go to the waypoint. Everybody, go to the waypoint. Now. Still rain. I'm still raining.
Yeah, there aren't any rules.
Guys, Prowler looks cool.
What's the... Hey, Gretchen, what's the copy pasta again? What's the copy pasta again? It's like... It's not about... It's about
the enemy, man. Why?
Managing the uncertainty. I don't remember what it is.
I'm grabbing people from... if you're not...
Stories are not about balance, but about managing the imbalance. Yep.
Get spawn beacon here as well, Tiger.
With some added weight.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Chuck, no!
Oh my god.
At Bourbon. Monty, get out of those vehicles now. Get out of those vehicles. Get out of those vehicles now. Listen up. Get out of the vehicles. Get out of the vehicles. Fucking hell. What is wrong in these people?
Simple. We don't want to lose, man.
There it is.
We don't want to lose. We have a chance to win. Why not? Nobody wants to lose. We come here to... I want to win. I don't want to lose.
Oh, it's so sad watching this. It's like Grug don't want to lose. Grug want win. Grug no lose. Grug win.
Poor little Grug.
Grug said. Grug want win, but Grug lose.
Vintage Tiger leadership right there.
Wait, what's this?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it just gets more and more interesting. Okay, next we're gonna have a look at the ArsheeTV post-game interviews with Pale Tiger. They're up from our 18, whose name I can't remember. But before I do that, I gotta pee, so I'm gonna be right back. Yeah. Okay. So the post-game interviews. This is more important context. Now I'm all about some important context. No hand washing. I did wash my hands. Not gross.
Has jumped out into the lead, but RAT
Again, this is Shoctorr's coverage of blah blah blah. It just takes forever to get these links, guys. It was so much easier to get them from Shoctorr's VOD. No disrespect to Arshee from me.
is giving him hell here.
Oh, it's about to happen. All right, we'll go. God, there's so much stuff to do.
Yes, there is.
I refuse to follow Arshee on Twitch. It's just kind of cringy.
It seemed like
So Shoctorr doesn't respect or like Arshee. Just register. We should just register that.
Can I just go right at it, Arshee?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Just pull the band-aid.
I saw our Lord Tiger running around among the gold boys.
So we have ArsheeTV and Commander Cyrious. They're co-casting this. Both lovely gents. Arshee is giving a real go at being a streamer after having a successful business, and making it his full-time gig. I think that, and he kind of focuses on presentation to quite a. He's a real flash guy. And Cyrious is, of course, just an old hand in the PlanetSide community. Everyone knows him. I know for a fact that for him, PlanetSide and streaming it and doing content for it is an after work type deal. I like these bits of context whenever we see from people, like what place streaming and doing content has in their lives. For what it's worth, I think Shoctorr also does this after his full-time job. So, and I'm one of those guys too. So one of the things that differentiates Arshee from everyone else in the room is he's a full-time streamer.
Boys, pretty freely. Was this just, did it develop mid-match? Was this pre-match? How did that all work?
Well, to start off, I just want to give a big shout out to Recursion. Those
This is Rasp from R18.
guys put up a massive fight. They absolutely mauled us last week, and that's why we got rid of the card for this match.
Shut up, Arshee! Stop breathing! We can't fucking hear!
I just want to give a big props. They're the best players on the server by far. In regards to your question,
they're the best people in the server by far, but we refuse to let them win.
We had to really rethink our strategy for with what went wrong in our first match. The first step was getting rid of Picard. He's just a useless leader. From that, we thought, what do we do best in game, and how do we lean onto that? So we brought more dudes. It's as simple as that. We brought more dudes.
He's embracing it.
Play for pigs.
Wait, I'm confused. Is this like Aussie like trolling, or was there some drama?
That's our motto now. Our motto is bring more dudes. So we brought more dudes. Pigs was struggling with numbers, so guys that wanted to play, I did a big call out to a bunch of different outfits. We have a sister outfit.
This was a reference to the PlanetSide Battles cast last week, by the way. The bring more dudes thing? They criticized Picard's leadership. Ah, interesting. Yeah, Picard also has another unique place in this the weekend's events. Some stuff he said, right? Anyway, good to know. Thanks, Cylinder. I didn't know that.
Bit on Miller, called him out and said, "Hey, you guys want to play an outfit wars? If you're not getting a shot, come on, get your loyalty rank 3 up. Go join Pigs, and go join those guys and fight with us."
Okay, so Pigs was really an extension of R18.
Well, we have mad props to them. Let's be real here. Without Pigs helping us, we wouldn't have won. That's how good Recursion is.
For sure.
Yeah, so that was the strategy. We had to focus Recursion 100%, and Pigs had to do that as well. We were concerned because they still didn't have a full platoon, but they managed, I think it was close to 3 squads. So it's still a decent turnout.
Right, and I know Pigs, and there's history there. Obviously, Pale Tiger hates Recursion, so I wasn't surprised to see him.
I want to rewind for a second and see what Archie is saying in chat. For what it's worth, Rasp is following the advice of don't hate the player, hate the game. They're not respecting, not dissing Recursion, just the format of Outfit Wars, which is a worthwhile distinction, I think. What was Archie typing? Big virtue signal gamer. Gotta signal those virtues.
Strategy, we had to focus Recursion on.
Archie is saying, should I? What is he referring to? 532.07. Let's go back another 30 seconds.
We have a sister outfit on Miller. Called him out and said, hey, you guys want to play an Outfit Wars if you're not getting a shot? Go, come on, get your loyalty rank 3 up. Go join Pigs and go join those guys and fight with us.
Okay, so Pigs was really an extension of R18. Like,
well, we have mad props to them. Let's be real here. Without
Archie
Pigs
says,
helping us, we wouldn't have won. That's how good Recursion is.
For sure.
We've known each other.
So that was the strategy. We had
for a long time.
Focus Recursion
Should
100%. And Pigs had to do that as well. We were concerned because they still didn't have a full platoon, but they managed, I think it was close to 3 squads.
What do I do?
Still a decent turnout.
Right, and I know Pigs, and there's history there, obviously.
Archie's still reacting to the Picard joke, I think. Picard also has called out Recursion as cheaters on multiple occasions, though. So this is really just R18 twisting the narrative so they look like they care about sportsmanship. Huh, interesting perspective. Because Rasp is presenting a pretty level-headed point of view here. Maybe he's just making the best of making lemonade from lemons. But yeah, Picard called out Shoctorr after this, and I want to talk about this. And after this cast as being toxic and racist. And Rel kind of engaged with it. Didn't say no, didn't say yes, but eventually Shoctorr and Rel talked, and we're gonna have a listen to that too. This is R18's game, troll people, then act innocent afterwards. Okay. Huh. So I was leaving room for that possibility, but hearing you confirm it is interesting. So Rasp and R18 are acting like they're hating on the game rather than the player, but in fact they are hating on Recursion and just using the game as a way of doing it is what you're essentially asserting. Okay.
Obviously, Pale Tiger hates Recursion, so I wasn't surprised to see him just
it made sense,
Recursion. Right? But I was surprised once everyone was intermingling. So some of the you guys got 48 in R18, and then anyone else that couldn't make it went and put a BR3 and Pigs. Is that kind of?
Yeah, we told them earlier in the week, Pigs can't do enough, get enough players. So if you guys want to play, and I did a call out to a bunch of different outfits for more people, because our motto is bring more dudes. So we brought more dudes. We gave them to Pigs.
So right now, Archie is doing his job, interacting with chat, trying to keep things going while Cyrious is handling the interview. I think we're going to see that get out of hand here, but I think on the surface of it, that makes total sense. Archie is very conscious at all times of the chat and making sure that they're engaged. It's very important as a streamer. And it's interesting for him to be doing something like content like this, because it's not really about him or his channel. This is about the game, and it's about the competition. And I don't think Archie really internalized that as well as he could have, or at least showed it in what we're about to see. Illinois, they're very notorious for this. Everyone who's played on Briggs knows what's really happening. Huh. Those are Aussie gamers, man. So much going on there.
So he can buff off his numbers and focus Recursion harder. And that's how we're able to beat them.
Okay, there you have it. I don't... we didn't...
It's so sad.
I thought I was gonna have to like go in and crack the code and all that, but no.
Just bring more dudes. People say that live server tactics don't work in Desolation.
Look how fucking pussy these two fucking casters are. They care nothing about this game. They only care about the fucking amount of viewers they have from all of this. They care literally nothing about this fucking game. They're just glad that there's drama because they're getting more fucking followers, more gifted subs, more fucking bits, more donos. They're just trying to fucking farm partner, and I'm getting fucking sick and tired of this bullshit, bro. These guys give no fucks about the game. They're just fucking farming just drama, bro. They don't care that they fucking did this shit. They're not denouncing it at all. These fucking assholes, bro. Fuck both of these dudes. I have no respect now for Cyrious, and I've never had respect for Arshee. Fuck both of these pieces of shit. They're both fucking awful for the game. Fuck both of you. Suck my suck the dick. Absolute trash human beings, bro.
Somebody from Recursion to confirm that this is in.
So, an epic rant. Shoctorr is going to go on to roll back his comments about Cyrious, but he's going to double down on Arshee. Is this appropriate behavior? What do you guys think? Is he right? I'm curious what people think. Shoctorr is fucking angry. He was angry before he started listening to this. He came into Outfit War as angry, as an angry infantry elitist, not getting what he wanted. At least that's what I think we're saying. A gamer moment. Speaking of how come Cyrious gets to break affiliate terms of service. My guess is it'll last until it doesn't. I don't know how that shit works, but I know what you're referring to. Yeah, so accountability. Let's talk about accountability. Accountability means taking responsibility for the things you do and say. And one of the things that Shoctorr is really doing is he's holding a lot of people accountable for things that they do and say. Arshee, Cyrious, Rasp, Pale Tiger, eventually, in a minute. He's going to hold the pigs accountable for the way that they act. He held Chuck Baller accountable for being a willing participant in something even if he didn't agree with it. This seems to be a common theme, calling out accountability held. I'm still deciding what I think, if I'm totally honest.
Who's representing you guys?
On they go.
And he left. Okay, just want to make sure that does not happen here. I don't want to basically have a mistake or having Recursion have a representative that is improper. Thank you guys so much for making sure that does not happen.
That's true.
Actually, I just want to say the fact that
Arshee's very worried about drama breaking out on his channel. He's very worried about it.
Recursion is potentially up for elimination is wrong. They really need to rethink this whole matchmaking system and elimination. It's just not fair. The outfits that can't even field a full squad get to qualify, and outfits that Recursion is going to win gold. I guarantee you they're going to win gold. They're that good. And the fact that they could potentially be eliminated is wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true.
How would you...
I can't hear anything that they're saying because of all Shoctorr's toasts. So what Rasp is calling out is the way that Outfit Wars works and making sure that the best outfits actually make it to the playoffs, and how in the current system it's possible that that won't happen. And this is just one of the ways that could happen, this collusion. But there are other factors too. And one of the things that really made people upset before this match is the fact that there was a repeat matchup for these teams against Recursion, which is just, like I mentioned earlier, they're a juggernaut of a team. They're favored to win most matchups they're in. And unfair matches suck, but having the same unfair match twice in a row sucks way worse. But does being angry justify an act like this? Accountability. Does being angry justify acting out? I'm not gonna answer it.
That's true.
Y'all gotta answer it.
That's pretty true. That's pretty true.
I mean, have two factions double teaming.
That's true.
Like how could Daybreak Games?
Yeah, don't eliminate people so early.
Yeah, that's true.
If people that's true. We fought Recursion twice. We are probably one of the hardest fights for Recursion. They shouldn't have had us twice. We shouldn't have had them twice. So that in itself is wrong.
That's true.
You're gonna have.
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck to say.
You should have a round robin where people get to play different outfits, so that
like what the fuck else am I supposed to say, bro?
Not just play the same outfit.
You can literally see Arshee typing, bro.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Recursion. Like they can't account for that.
That's a dynamic.
Yeah, let's hear you,
spamming
man.
shit. I'm trying to listen,
the fact
bro.
that we versed them twice shouldn't have happened. Like we didn't want to verse them again. They didn't want to verse us again. That's what I've been hearing anyway. If you verse multiple outfits, you spread it out.
Very,
so
very
you
bad.
know, get a proper ranking and you weight these outfits correctly. You're not gonna unless the entire server goes, everyone will double team Recursion. That's the only way they're gonna get knocked out. And at that point, well, that's planet side. It's a 1 versus 1 versus 1. You can't balance that. Like.
Well, and obviously the stronger faction should get focused, but I'm saying if it's a full-on collusion, there's no way for them to do anything about that.
Dude, like so.
Cyrious is hitting this right. He's distinguishing between the soft and the hard, the working together, mutual self-interest versus collusion, where you dilute the competitive nature of the experience in order to manipulate the outcome.
Pussy, bro.
Like
call them out,
that, right?
Shoctor's accusing him of being a pussy for doing this. Again, accountability.
Call them fucking out.
You mean like the devs?
The devs, they can't account for the TR guys running around among NC and not fighting each other.
No,
that's planet side.
And that's planet side. You have 3 factions.
That was a beautiful moment.
You open to diplomacy. The enemy
that's
of my enemy is
side.
my friend.
This is him calling them out.
I understand that angle.
He's just like
I'm not saying it's a great angle.
It's planet side.
That's planet side. Like I'm not saying I'm glad this is the way it is. I'd prefer it if there was a way we could make it so you can't do that. I think it's dumb that we can do that, but because the game allows.
Arshee doesn't know what to say. He doesn't play the game. He's like, yeah,
it is obviously a struggle, and Connery has always had.
Arshee's just looking at the view count. He's like 290 viewers. Holy shit!
And that does make it harder to make the good engaging fights happen. Absolutely.
Again, look, not a single fuck, dude. Not denouncing any of the behavior, just farming viewers. Farming viewers, hoping to get that fucking check mark. All right, Vextel, it's time to stop. It is time to.
This is the bad shit. So, Arshee is breaking out the popcorn and noisily eating it on microphone, which everyone in his Discord can hear. If you go to Cyrious' stream, you can hear it too. Again, Arshee, I think, is used to being in a position where he has to entertain the stream. He doesn't have to here. He honestly doesn't have to. And by doing what he does, I think it is inadvertently telegraphing is that he does not respect the game or the effort people are putting into it. And that's certainly with Shoctorr.
It
is time to stop.
Maybe that's its own thing, but that's not what.
Just eating his popcorn, thinking it's funny, but this is literally what kills the game.
We don't really get that opportunity.
This is literally what kills the game.
Is as a true representation.
Staring at the view count, knows that this is gonna clip everywhere. His shit says twitch.tv/ArsheeTV right there. Oh baby.
They put up a really good fight. But
so fucking
this goes
sad.
for anyone. Like,
what a scumbag! Fuck you.
I
actually I didn't like him before because I thought he was annoying, but now I just know he's a fucking scumbag.
That outfit. I don't want to be
just look at him, bro.
Server that they've just come on to absolutely dominate us. I mean, in that fight, we didn't bring air because we knew they had.
Bro, chill. What's up, interlude?
An air game that was just unbeatable.
And I mean,
making money off the death of
a risk, but on Connery, we didn't have any outfits like that. There were a bunch of ringers.
Recursion,
other than maybe
Lex was right.
No, Recursion's
yeah, that guy wanted to be our community manager.
Recursion full, I believe, have ringers.
But Recursion plays on both Connery and Emerald, so it's their outfit is.
It's really uncomfortable to watch again.
They're a multi-server, multi-faction outfit. So how do you solve that issue? Like, I don't know.
But there should be play with Recursion. The people want to play with Gobs, and the people want to play with DPOs.
Okay, now Cyrious is starting to make some good points.
Representation of the outfit, then. Like if you just want to
starting to make some real points
where people can create the
and
best
just
team
look at this fucker Arshee
and not letting him off
and
the
then all
hook.
those best teams fight each other.
He doesn't care.
Maybe that's what we do. But that to me personally is not what Outfit Wars is.
He doesn't care.
Anyone know where we can hire Team Solo Mid?
Are you trying to get speedrun getting banned on Twitch?
Get out of here.
How is this? I'm watching content.
How about once Recursion cut you guys off? Was that like a surprise that you guys were?
Leroy Twizzler's in the chat saying Lex has been right for years. How's it feel to be so right, Lex? Damn, son.
No, we knew they were gonna
point for a minute, or
we knew they were gonna do that. Like, well, look, not that specifically, but we knew we had them at a hold. We had them boxed in. We knew they weren't gonna keep bashing their head against a wall. We know that Recursion's smart. Recursion, obviously,
very smart players.
They were gonna come around it. We just didn't know what it was gonna be, so we were playing on the back foot, waiting for them to do something. Once they cut us off, we're like,
no, now Cyrious is starting to make points. I'd like to retract my statement about Cyrious, but Arshee is a piece of shit.
Yeah, they put
actual
everything onto our
scumbag.
warp gate, and we responded, and they were beating us. We just had to keep fighting,
Like you can see, he's not paying attention to anything.
Once we got that cap, our points just started rolling in again. But that was a brilliant strategy.
Sorry,
absolutely brilliant strategy. Recursion for getting up.
It was really impressive that they were able to stop you guys earning points because that was necessary to make it.
This is so bad.
How about instead of this dog shit, since he doesn't have any of the real content, why don't we just watch this? Like, why don't we watch the person who's actually asking the questions actually ask the questions?
We just had to keep fighting, break through, and once we got that cap, our points just started rolling in again. But that was a brilliant strategy. Absolutely.
A little longer than we can pause this.
Recursion.
No, it was impressive. It was really impressive that they were able to stop.
You can
guys
still hear it on his side.
That was necessary to make it.
Exactly. So it pulled all of us back. We all had to focus and get one of those bases back so we could start getting points.
Yeah, and I was surprised they didn't do the back capping, and then I was even more surprised when TR just let you guys cut him off. But it sounds like that was probably part of the plan.
So they're gonna get to Pale Tiger here, but I feel like I need to just pause here. And I mentioned a few bits of context about Arshee. So okay, I'm gonna pull this back just a little bit for a minute, and I hope you'll bear with me. So when you're seriously considering an idea, especially when that idea is calling someone out, generally speaking, my way of approaching doing that is to try to put my point of view up against the highest quality opposing point of view I can consider. By doing that, I'm testing what I think against the highest quality opponent. It's the same thing you do when you're playing a video game. Yeah, if you can seal club a bunch of new players, that's great. But what you really want to do is be good against other good players. So when you're talking about having a take, an opinion, a thought, ideally you want your thought to be good against other high quality thoughts, not to just a weapon to club people with. So it's easy, I think, to look at Arshee and see a lot of pretty negative things in this clip. But I know for a fact that Arshee works his ass off. And I think that he's very focused on presentation and not too worried about the particulars. I think for what he does, that's probably okay to some extent. There's a misplay happening here, which I discussed. He doesn't have to entertain the chat. There's something going on. It's a misread, just a mistake. That's my take on it. And I think he feels bad about it. And Shoctorr is not affording the opposite point of view the same latitude that he's giving himself here, I think. Again, this might seem like I'm being critical of Shoctorr. I think what he's doing here is an important manifestation of broad behavior that we see in the community and commentary and ideas. Especially from the hardcore infantry set. And I think that what they're angry about and what they want is justified. And even if that thing comes out in a way that's not well balanced or as respectful as it could be, it doesn't mean that the things that motivate it are incorrect. It's like confusing the message with the messenger, right? How much longer until Tiger? We really need to hear from Tiger.
Definitely.
I don't think TR. Yeah, TR didn't think they were going to win.
Oh, I didn't timestamp it. I was just going to get through the whole R18,
including just letting points go to NC if you guys went for them.
So,
enemy, my enemy.
Pretty much. Look, it was a fight that already happened. As far as we take it, like once R18 Recursion had us capped at the warp gate, I'm not surprised that they didn't try and cap our remaining points, because if they sent people back.
This is really not that important to go over. I'm trying to get to the Pale Tiger stuff.
Back to try and cap those points that we still have. So I feel like.
Picard?
Get out of here, Picard.
That's the wrong Picard. So
hold on. I don't know. It could be.
No, I had to turn the stream off, so I only found out through the 60+ DMs that we won.
That's my spacebar not working.
I'm happy that you had a chance to see that.
I was very happy. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
Okay. I'm really afraid to ask this person below you a question, because I don't know if it's really.
I think that's him.
I don't know. It could.
What?
Be. Oh!
What?
Ladies and gentlemen! Oh my God! I need to stop freaking out. I need to keep eating. Commander, you want to ask him a question? I'm gonna keep eating.
All right, who's here? Who'd I miss?
Oh God.
Huh?
The general.
Oh, Pale Tiger's here. Okay.
Did I miss something?
Join me and together. Wait, sorry, that's Pale Tiger's voice. Pale. How you doing, my dude?
Good, mate.
Is everything
Frenzy
good?
with the fall, thank you.
Yep.
This
This is
the
like
R18 Pigs merger going.
brilliant, brilliant. We're having babies at the end of the week.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We're forming the Terran conglomerate. Planetside will now be a 1
Look,
versus 1.
I love this. This is just like the first time we won the gold outfit wars, right? This is like that to me, right? Recursion got what they deserved.
Recursion got what they deserve. Yeah. I was going to pause after the first thing you said, which is this is just like the last outfit wars. So yeah, the first outfit wars that happened, they also upset Recursion. I wish I could remember the details of that match better, but there was also a double team going on there. I think less of a hard collusion, but it's kind of interesting the way history repeats, isn't it? Recursion deserved it. Recursion deserved it. We need to think about that. Why does Pale Tiger think Recursion deserved it? And why do players like Pale Tiger believe players like those on Recursion deserve negative outcomes?
End of story.
If you don't mind focusing
A bunch of numbers
on
to follow.
Oh my God, Arshee's wallet
Lord.
with a.
I forgot about this.
Too late.
It's not. That's 100 subs.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like 100 subs just came in.
Oh, somebody gifted him $100.
To the Planetside 2 community, Arshee's wallet. Wait, that's my wallet. Where is it?
Pog.
That's kind of crazy. Who's Arshee's wallet?
game is
And
dying.
Is this really happening right now, chat? I don't even know. I don't know how to explain this anymore. My hands are up.
Again,
this
like
doesn't make any sense.
this is literally
Thank
it.
you so much, Arshee's wallet. For
This is literally
the
it. Farming
100 gifted
subs,
subs. I
not
will never know
denouncing
who
any
you are,
negative
you
behavior,
sick
farming viewers. This is
yeah,
just how it works.
thanks.
Completely
I don't know
stopping
what
the
to say.
interview
I'm blown
because he
away
just
right
got
now. Commander,
$500. This is
back
it.
to subject. Sorry, that doesn't really happen. 100 gifted
This
subs.
is literally
That makes
this.
me epic, bro.
It's so sad.
You guys rock.
Like
Yeah.
By the way, everybody.
Yeah,
By the way, everybody. Stop talking real quick. Everybody's muted. I just made $500. All right, go back. Keep talking about all the things that I really don't give a shit about.
You got anything else, Arshee? I don't know.
Arshee never had anything in the first place. What do you mean? Does he have anything?
Whatever I ask is going to be, something that traditionally doesn't come out.
I could tell you exactly the whole thing and why it happened.
Oh God. Do you know how to say it?
Without swearing at all.
You know how to say it? Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Please.
Look, these dudes have been around for a while, right?
Uh-huh.
And just hang on a sec. Just a sec. I'm going to do something here. There we go. That's better. I just didn't realize I had the game going in the background. Right. Here's the thing. They've been going around terrorizing everybody for years, right? And they carry on whatever. Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Some of them are hacking, right? No ifs or buts. I'll stand by that, right? You only need one or two. You don't need the whole bloody squad to be hacking to win. That's how they are. That's how they operate, as far as I'm concerned, right? Yeah, they take us down.
Shoctorr shaking his head.
99% of the time in a battle, they'll take us down, right? But here's the thing: payback's a bitch, right? And they got taken down.
Bad boy.
Right, in a big way.
Oh.
Right, they really did. This is payback. This is payback, not just for me, but for everybody that's ever had to go up against them. Okay, this is for all of us. Remember that, right? And that's how I see it. And they deserved everything, right? I gave my word to R18 because I knew I wouldn't have the players. I was 15 players down. Okay, and I actually bloody had 3 R18 players from another server come and join us to help. They joined the outfit and got up all their points and that they needed. Right, that's how to get us across the line.
I gotta say, from watching it right now, Pale Tiger, seeing what you guys did, the strategy you guys pulled between R18 and yourselves, it was really, really fun to watch. Must be extremely stressful to deal with the 2v1. We also have more information about another 2v1 that happened.
It was fun to watch.
In the middle of the match,
that was fun to watch. Dude, this guy is the #1 streamer of PlanetSide right now.
I don't understand what's going on with the culture of Connery. It seems to be okay to do this. And it started with...
There's nothing wrong with what we've done. Right?
No, nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Archie has no opinion. Nothing's wrong.
Who's the chicken and who's the egg? Because as I understand, the Kestrel...
This is such humanity. There's so much to wade through. Once I thought it was funny, there I thought it was sad. Culture war right there. Yes, that's why I call it the culture wars. Got Arshee giving the heart to the stream. Arshee is... So... in the honor of trying to put forth the highest quality argument against the idea that Arshee is just using PlanetSide, just farming views, farming money, farming followers and subs, which I think is a... Well, I'm not going to tell you my personal opinion about it. I'm just going to try to be a good philosopher here. Highest quality argument, counter argument to that is that Arshee is that it's not a intention that Arshee is having. It's a mistake that's occurring, and it's a mistake in reading the situation. Arshee does daily streams. He puts in a ton of effort. He went on the road during COVID with Andy Milonakis and some people. And yeah, he jumps at the opportunities that he has, as you should, as anyone should. And one of those is PlanetSide. He was able to give PlanetSide a big, high-quality voice when Outfit Wars first came out, and he went out to visit the developers, and he's allied himself with the developers and Rel too, which I think is another point of the people look at Arshee as a bit of a villain for. But I think it's I think that the best way to see this is that Arshee made a mistake in reading the room. Fake hype peddler. Sure. Well, that's what a presenter is, basically. Right, Lex? Like, do you think that, what's the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy? What's his name? I can't think of his name. But do you think that guy gave a shit about the stuff that he presented? No. Arshee is trying to say, let's get ready to rumble. And really, he's not the best person to have these kinds of conversations. Cyrious is doing a pretty good job of it. I love Arshee. I love all these guys. In fact, I feel a little bad about talking about him like this. I'm not even sure if it's something I should be doing. But I think that there's a moment here that is happening in the PlanetSide community that deserves more critical examination than what's happening. And At least here on my channel, I'm going to try to promote it. See if anyone's interested in that message. So easy messages rise to the top because they're simple and light. We see this on social media. We see this in politics. We see this everywhere. And one of the simplest messages is us versus them. That's what results in bipartisan politics. It's why you see people getting angry at each other rather than dealing with the actual forces and trends underneath. After this, I'm going to make a shitty MS Paint diagram showing what I think some of the trends and forces that are occurring here are. A little bit of an experiment. And this is just honestly uncomfortable for me to watch. Because it really is a rough situation. But I got to throw it out to Cyrious for holding the line live. It's not easy to call people out like this to their face. And he's doing it. And Arshee is just trying to be nice and preserve the high energy of the stream, which I get, but probably not what was called for here.
Record started up because you, Tiger, were originally going to...
All right, I hate Recursion more than R18 does, okay? End of story.
Interlude.
Can you tell me, did Recursion take your baby? Like, what happened? I don't know the history of this whole...
Because you don't play the game. You're just here to farm. Arshee's just here to farm. He just got 100 subs. He's at 325 views. He's going to go back to being a 20-viewer Andy doing P90X on Monday.
You really doubt their ability. Right? The funny thing is, every time the Recursion
you don't know shit.
Remember it used to be when there was an update of the Recursion
The only winner right now is Arshee.
Once that went down, they were useless. Seriously, they were useless until they got their tracker back. I mean, I don't get it.
Wait, so Tiger,
Soupy, you're a 30-viewer Andy. Thank you very much.
Am I hacking?
Yes. No.
You're only a
Pale Tiger referring to the Recursion tracker, which gives people those kill streak callouts and shows an overlay on their screen of who they've killed. And we'll give them a crosshair overlay. I use the crosshair overlay. Which is about the same thing as putting a piece of tape on your screen, by the way. And Pale Tiger insinuating that Recursion's performance on live servers dropped when the tracker went offline. Which is... And it came back when it went online, which is a preposterous thing to intimate. It's preposterous. It's hard to tell whether Pale Tiger just loves stirring up shit, which I think he clearly does, or whether he truly believes these things. Probably just a mix of both. I did some research on Dunning-Kruger syndrome over the weekend after seeing all this play out. I'm not sure I'm competent enough to actually apply that lens to this situation, but Recursion are many things, but I have a ton of respect for those guys. Last year, after the first Outfit Wars, where Recursion again was cheated, arguably, by Pale Tiger and others, I talked to Therum, Sale, and Disenfranchised, and we had a great planet-side conversation. Really respect those guys, and they show a lot of reserve and stoicism. I don't know if we're going to get there, but they actually talked to Shoctorr after this exchange, and had a pretty reserved point of view. They seem to be the only party in the room other than Cyrious. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. That's not accurate. I retract that. What I was about to say. I'll see how much more of this we need to hear.
20-viewer Andy when you decide to stream at 5 in the morning, bro.
Okay, so confirm with me.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm sure that someone could put a hack in this game. What about you, Cyrious? Do you think someone could actually hack in this game?
100%.
I've seen hacks. Absolutely.
Right. Well, then, like I said, there's no way it's all of them, right? Because it'd just be too bloody obvious.
Well,
right. But I've got to admit, it's pretty.
Some big accusations.
These dudes. Yeah, you don't catch them out. That first Outfit War that we just did, the one beforehand we did, right? That we really only went up against one of their squads. You know what I mean? We didn't go up against the whole. They didn't even throw the whole platoon at us. They held us off with one squad. Right? That's just
because
why.
they're quite talented players.
So,
Well, they weren't talented today, were they?
Well, I mean, it's hard to explain.
Look, I'm saying right now, I'm putting it out there, right? I don't believe them.
Thank you so much, Chuck Baller, and also Montu Black for the sub, and then also the raid coming in. Chuck Baller from Space Base.
Hey, thanks for the money, by the way, guys. I'm not listening to Tiger, but hey, thanks for the money, by the way, guys. Tiger, do you have anything else you want to say? No? Okay, we're going to go down the list.
I'm just going to tell you my perspective. I basically office spotlighted you. I have massive respect for you. You have massive respect for me. As you can see, you did a fantastic job here maintaining TOS and family friendly. I don't know if you care about this situation, but when I first came in, I had a chance to see the Medic God Clubbins, Disenfranchised, Perpender, Lizard from a different community, Slatter1, and Dabinals. And those individuals taught me how to increase my FPS game when I first started. There was not many people basically introducing themselves to me because they hated streamers. Streamers were considered like the...
Arshee's trying to show respect.
I don't know, toxic group on the planet, they told me, and I said I'm not that kind of person, and I had to keep applying myself. So they gave me a chance, and they showcased them.
Now Arshee's so good at the game, he doesn't even play it anymore.
Infantry game that I've never did in 2012 to 2015.
Dude, Arshee's so good at the game now, he doesn't even play it anymore.
You have to be good at the game and talk about it? I hope not. For my sake.
Infantry finally have the opportunity to see them.
I'm not saying they don't know the game. I mean, they've had a few devs through there, through the platoon, through their outfit. So they'd know a bit more. If you've got a dev there to talk to, you're going to know.
Yeah, one more
a lot
streamer.
More.
Can we get somebody up there?
And at the same time, it's also the way they hold themselves. Very, very similar to a business. They do not want to represent themselves in any way, shape, or form in a childish manner. And so that's why it's a lot easier for them to contact them and other outfits that are on Emerald and also on Soltech. I deal with all 5 server Space Pigs. And I can see the ones that actually have the devs actually want to work directly with them because they're clear and concise. They have business-oriented individuals in there. They have the information that they can actually deliver when it's needed. And I think other outfits also do it too. You see it all over the place, but they don't publicize it.
What,
because it makes the devs basically have to do double the amount of work.
What, cheat?
And so it's hard to express that, but I do see your pain points. If I had to deal with Dubness shooting me in the face 100 to 100 kills, first to 100 wins, I killed him 22 times. He killed me 88 times.
Oh, he's talking about speedrunners. Thanks for the shout out.
My math right. It was painful. And at the end, I learned one thing, that he can see pixels a lot better than I can. So that's it.
What is he saying? What is his opinion?
But anyway,
what did he just say?
I'd like to say to R18, fantastic win, boys.
Thank you so much, Cody.
Thanks, pal.
All right,
yeah, well done.
What did he just say? What was that convoluted way of saying there's people that are good at the game and there are people who aren't?
Need to do that right now. Let's go find out what the hell happened to Geo, dude. The hell was that?
Oh, we had Dim, Dark, and Hammered.
I want to hear Tiger's sign off. It's good.
How was it, Hammered?
Wait, Hammer's here?
Right?
Yeah, Hammered's here.
Where?
I think so.
I didn't see him.
All right, well that's basically it.
Hammered, were you guys at least hammered? So
so spineless.
Fine.
So spineless. I think on one hand, I feel bad, all right? Because I kind of yelled at Cyrious, but I think Cyrious likely it was just trying to find a way he was trying to find a way to nicely bring it up. But you need to denounce that behavior as soon as you see it, or else the game will fall apart. There's no chance for the game to survive if that's the win condition. But Arshee, oh my God. For the little amount of respect I had, now I have none. I have zero respect. Like, do you guys actually watch Arshee stream? Like, I don't, who are these 321 people? Who are these 321 people? Like, why, how do you think this guy is good for the game?
Illander says the next bit of the interview is about the same thing as in a different match, but in a different context. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I watched a lot of this over the weekend, but not all of it. It's a lot to consume. Arshee can be good for the game. I think he has been good for the game. We all make mistakes, and the thing that we owe to ourselves and to the people around us is when we make mistakes is to be accountable for them. and to, yeah, I really am tempted to focus on Shoctorr here because he's such an exclamation point in this interaction. But I think what he does speaks for itself. I still have a lot of respect for the guy, and I actually think it's much more interesting to focus on the dynamic behind the frustration, which I'm clearly identifying, and what I totally respect. This is all taking much longer than I planned. Hopefully I can get to everything that I'm interested in here. But I need to take a minute to find some clip art to make my point. I need a salt shaker to represent salty vets. Got it. See my shitty paint skills. I need something to represent casual players. A seal. Perfect. Perfect. Oh man, this is pretty funny. Hold on. I can show this. There's no reason I can't show this. I'm not gonna get sued if using this clip art. We'll find out. All right, got a seal, and the cutest, happiest looking one. I think this one does okay. I like it. And then we're gonna do something to represent Rogue Planet. I think I'll just do Rel's face. That's gonna be the best. There he is. That lovely man. He looks slightly deranged, like he's throwing an outfit wars match. Well, maybe that's appropriate. Maybe that's appropriate. Okay. You guys can't see paint yet. Hang on, I can fix that. You can see me stumble my way to my point here. Okay, OBS stuff. You think Ver recently has been pushed by the frustration with the game to align more with that camp? Ver? V-E-R? All right. So this is just this crazy hypothesis that I'm kind of working out in my head. And I'm gonna let you guys tell me if I'm onto something or if I'm totally off base. So use a white background. And look at our players in motion. All right. First, we have our salty vets. Right? Salty vets. You know them when you see one. A very typing on controller, read the previous message. Oh, yeah. I don't think Shoctorr is as big of a hardcore adventure guy as you're painting him to be. I think very recently he's been published with frustration to get on running. Okay. Yeah, okay. I trust your read on that, Lex. You know it, but you're more familiar with it than I am. So yeah, maybe there are dynamics that I'm missing here in this conversation. And I appreciate you sharing that. But let me know if you think that what I'm about to share makes any sense. I think it kind of does. So here we'll put salty vets at the top. Why not? I love the salty vets. And here we have our lovely casual planetside players. who don't care about being good. They just want to get in tanks, big platoons, have big planet man wars, the good stuff, you know? And then we have our developers, helmed by our glorious leader, Mr. Rao. And I'm not going to try to make this pretty. I'm just going to bring him in. Boom. Okay. So let's talk about some of the aggregate dynamics that happen between these parties. Now, this is not going to be something that every single person who's a casual player, every single person who's a salty vet, or every single thing that happens from RPG is going to fit into. It's an aggregate impression. And basically what my thinking is looks something like this. So we all know that if you look at Outfit Wars and look at a lot of the things that were added to PlanetSide, one of the things that Rel has said is that his goal is to grow the player base of PlanetSide. He's said it multiple times. He said it to me directly when I interviewed him. He really wants to grow PlanetSide. And to grow PlanetSide, you have to appeal to a broad base, and that's just going to be your more casual player. Your sweaty, passionate Planet Man, the salty vet, is not going to be the everyman PlanetSide player. So what happens, I can draw arrows, right? Yes, here we go. Yeah. This points the same way no matter how I do it. Sorry, guys. I'm so bad at this stuff. Let's see if it'll let me flip it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, RPG gives attention to new players growing the broad base, with the idea of growing PlanetSide, making it be more profitable so it can justify more development. It's a thing that makes sense. To grow the game, you grow the player base. You grow the game, the player base grows the game, and then vice versa. And then we have this dynamic happen where these people who are just trying to enjoy the game, this broad base, people who like big outfits and tanks and planes and combined arms and big hierarchical structures and don't care the most about being great at the game, go up against these salty vets. And how's this interaction look? Well, salty vets dump on all these players. And so what we end up happening is what we saw from Pale Tiger. This resentment from the average PlanetSide player of the salty vet. Right. Attention from devs to casual players. Casual players give negative attention to the salty vets. And then what happens from the salty vets? Well, the salty vets are salty because they're not seeing what they want come from the game. Because what's actually happening is these casual players are being served. So then the salty vets dump on this fine man with the hat here. Okay. Does this make sense? Does it have a grain of truth? Can I make this solid? That's fine. Well, if Lex says it's fine, then I must be onto something. Yeah, okay. Make that color and just make it a little easier to see. Salty Vet is the arrows the smallest, they're probably the least toxic group. I don't know about that. I do think what's interesting though is I think that the Salty Vet community has a real controlling interest in the conversation. Shoctorr with the big raid. What is up? What is up, Shoctorr and company? What's up, everyone? We are talking all about the culture wars happening in PlanetSide. Do you guys like my diagram that I've made? We're having a comfortable conversation, and you guys just have to like jam the place up. Oh, it's all good though. Welcome. Kind of makes this all pick with a pick of Shoctorr. Yeah, see, I'm trying to disambiguate. My basic argument is that there are trends and forces at work here. And I'm probably doing people a disservice by putting Rel's face on here. Because it's not really just Rel, right? It's the whole institution that's getting the game built, developer, publisher, everything. I have to adjust the vocabulary, Deeg. In which way? Am I dumbing it down too much? Trump level. I don't know if I can do that. Well, let's break it down. All right. So welcome everyone. Let's get caught up. What's going on here? We're talking about the dynamics at play over the weekend with the match between Recursion, Space Pigs, R18. We just went over a lot of that footage, including some of the very awkward conversations happening between various people, post-match interviews, the match itself, hearing testimonials from Pale Tiger and Rasp, etc. You guys know what I'm talking about. You saw it all, right? And what I want to bring this back to is what actually is happening in the community and how is this getting manifested? And my basic thought here, and this is like a hypothesis, this could be fucking wrong. I hope you guys will tell me, is that there's this kind of circle of hate. A circle of hate that's going on, and it has been going on for a while. And this is not every single person doing this. This is like an aggregation. But the circle of hate looks like this. It looks like RPG and Rel. Rel being a representative of RPG, PlanetSide, the publisher. Like, there's a lot behind that picture of the man in the do-rag. Want to grow the base of PlanetSide. This is a stated interest. We know this. So what do? They make new features that appeal to growing the base. Things like Outfit Wars, things like Bastions, things like Colossus, things that are easy to understand and wrap your hands around. And this is the base. This is the casual base of PlanetSide right here. People who want to play in big platoons, drive tanks around, all that good stuff. And then these players go up against the salty vets. A lot of you guys, right? I used to be a salty vet too. I don't know what happened to me. I got my sodium imbalance. Or maybe I'm still salty. And what happens? Hackers. Those fucking cheaters. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? We heard Pale Tiger preaching it loud. And so my hypothesis is, okay, the circle of hate continues. It goes to the salty vets. And so what do the salty vets do? Well, the salty vets are pissed because what they want, what you guys want, and tell me if I'm wrong, is you want meaningful avenues of skill expression in PlanetSide. You want a way to actually put all that time you put into a game you love to work. And so when you don't get that, and when you see features that cater to these folks, you dump on the developers. And we see that. Thanks, Rel. This is Rel's fault, blah, blah, blah. Right. Obviously, everything's not Rel's fault. But this is, I think, a lot of the dynamic we see in the community. And I've been asking myself, what the fuck do we do about this? Because the salty vets have a point. You guys deserve to be served. You guys have been a huge part of keeping this game alive. And you have a lot of power in forming the social media message around a game. Let's be honest. It's extremely important for PlanetSide. All right, I'm going to read some of this feedback now. So here's the critique. You want to play in small squads and drive tanks around? Hell yeah. What's that video, Lex? Rapid relief. You like this guy. Very smart. I'll take it. I'd say you're missing arrows going backwards, like seals being mad at cheaters aren't being acknowledged, etc. The Melvinus goes back. Yes, I mean, this is a gross oversimplification. So, like, a lot of this could be like, it's 60% in one direction and 40% in one direction. So I'm pointing the arrow towards the 60% to indicate that in aggregate, this is the trend. And this is just a trend I'm observing. It's not always this way. Circle of hate. Thanks, folks, for following the stream, by the way, who are doing that. Nutrition and Stone Tubo. Welcome. Welcome. We love talking here. We're all about talking. And I can't stop talking about PlanetSide. It's a fucking disease for me. But it's a disease I love to indulge. So how can we fix this? Like, let's just play with this idea. What does it look like if we turn these arrows around? Okay? Just bear with me. Bear with me. Let's see if I can actually use paint. No, I can't. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Fill tool. Where'd my color wheel go? Color wheel? Oh, here we go. Okay. Go away, go away, go away. No, go away, all the way away. That's not be good enough. No, be whitewashed rel. Okay, that's a little bit better. So let's reverse this circle of hate as a thought experiment. Give him money so Shoctorr will yell at him. Yeah. I definitely won't interrupt my narration to thank anyone. I refuse. I'm in it for the integrity of the art. Okay, so reversing the circle of hate. We're on the arrow, color, flip. Okay, so if the circle of hate if we reversed it, okay, from a circle of hate to a circle of love. Circle of love, y'all. What would this look like? And again, this is an aggregation effect. This is not every single interaction. This is not every single person. Okay. So here's the way the circle of love could look. Let's make sure this is actually something we can see. No! Okay. So the circle of love. So this is essentially a cycle that I think could be addressed in some small but meaningful way if we were to see something from PlanetSide that served the Salty Vet. I don't know what that thing is. It could be an official instantiation of the PlanetSide Infantry League. It could be something else. I don't know what it is. Y'all can tell me what you think. But something that shows this community of vocal, passionate players who care that they are valued. So essentially, instead of a focus on growing PlanetSide, a focus on giving back to PlanetSide. Now, there are dynamics behind the wall, behind the curtain of the publisher and the developer that we'll never know how these conversations go. So who knows how possible this is. But this is the way it could go. So if vets, salty vets can get something that they want, to let them show off, be skilled, have meaningful outcomes, and feel rewarded for their time, then the salty vets will pass on the love. They'll pass on the love to little grugs and help them out, train them, lead them, show them the way. And maybe let them do their thing while they're playing in, the official PlanetSide Infantry League or whatever. By the way, shout out to Pill. Y'all who work on that do fucking awesome work. I'm so impressed by Pill. And then, because the low grugs are getting love, they'll show love back to PlanetSide, to Rel, by buying stuff. This is my hypothesis about reversing the circle of hate to a circle of love. This is my thesis for PlanetSide 2. one of my hobby horse ideas for PlanetSide is the idea of repackaging PlanetSide as a hardcore game. PlanetSide is hardcore. You're going to fucking die 1,000 times. You should get rewarded for dying 1,000 times because you got to die to live, to get good. It is hard to get good at PlanetSide, y'all. You know it. We all know it. All right, so cut off the chat. Reparations. Exactly. Happy relief a beat with my Beetlejuice of love seals. Lol. Shoctorr live play being kind of ignored right now, but I don't know what the general consensus is, to be honest. False Shocked. We have tons of updates like missions. Bastion Colossus. Wow, kind of short-sighted, bud. Wow, true. I'm gonna go do some missions while I wait for Deeg to notice me. I notice you, Shoctorr. I notice you. I can't help but notice you. You're so attractive, Pill Tiger. With the addition of Bastions and other massive content, it overshadows and makes infantry play, live play feel significant. Do the majority of people not buy things because they hate the game or because there's nothing to buy? Because I'm the latter. Yeah, Shoctorr, I kind of feel you on that, man. Like when I play PlanetSide, I pay for my sub, but it's hard for me to find things I'm excited about other than like the anniversary bundles, which just have so much value built into them. Good players have been giving back to the casuals for years. People just don't start out as good. Yes, this is true, Lex, and worth calling out. This absolutely does happen. I've seen it. I've had really good players give back to me. Like, I mean, y'all are doing that right now. Bastion should be a reward for winning Outfit Wars or something. Doesn't feel special. Yeah, I had that idea earlier today, Rapid. Like, what could you do to actually incentivize Outfit Wars participation? And what if you pulled out Bastions out of earning out of the live game and put them behind Outfit Wars? I don't know. I kind of like that idea. Endeavor bundle was good. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy that soon. There's nothing for you to buy. You spend no bucks in the year I've played it. A knife. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you need to have things for people to buy that they care about. True. The circle of life. And it all just comes down to whether or not PlanetSide can show the salty vets that their time is worthwhile. And I'm perceiving that there's a frustration level with Outfit Wars. Yes, like it's alpha. It's clearly something that is in a state that will continue to evolve. But is it really a skills contest? And what we saw over this weekend was an example of a way that it's very clearly not. I've mentioned that I think that there's an argument to be made that there's a competitive etiquette, like a way of approaching that problem that's focused on the player behavior, not on the format. But it's still true that 1v1v1 will never be as competitively rigorous as 1v1, ever. And I'm not sure what to do about that. I've heard the argument that's PlanetSide. Actually, we're just watching a clip from your stream, Shoctorr, where you were saying that that's PlanetSide at the same time that what's his name? Rasp from our team is making that same argument. It's really good. Quite funny shit. But when people want to go heads up in PlanetSide, is that not PlanetSide enough? I don't know. I'm really raising questions at this point because I don't know what the answer should be. My goal here is to try to see if there's a way to raise the bar of conversation. Because it's okay to be pissed. It's okay to be pissed. What sucks is when being pissed gets in the way of actually figuring things out. Illendar calling back to the Bastion. You thought they were going to be a rare event on the server. Yeah, it did seem like they'd be rare. They're really not, though. Cherry says, I don't like how Outfit War seems to be a drama llama to go haha funny whenever someone fails to win or have internal outfit margin. Yeah. So the other community, this is way too fucking bright in my face. I cannot, I need a dark mode fizz. Can I flip it? Image. Invert colors. Oh, I can see. So there's another old community, an old shooter community that I'm a part of, and it's much smaller than PlanetSide, if you can believe it. Like maybe 1/10 the size. It's called Team Fortress Classic, which was it was the Team Fortress game between Quake Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2. And there are people still playing it, believe it or not. I actually love the game. I think it's fantastic. But and it has like a fledgling community that gets together and plays pickups and organizes matches from time to time, and it's fun. But that game, as small as it is, with like less than 200 active players, has a similar breakdown of people who play the game casually, people who play the game seriously, and they don't like each other. A community that small can have those divisions. It's just crazy. I don't think this dynamic is exclusive to PlanetSide by any stretch. Actually, another game that I see people who are passionate and devoted not getting what they need get pissed and turn it into social media rants and just turn it on the developers, Guild Wars 2, although I think that there's just generally a much more apologistic tone in the way that their subreddit is regulated. Remove the explosive damage and make it impulse instead. Players will die to fall damage. I am not competent to respond to that. I feel like competitive events should unite communities, not split them apart. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Cherry. The whole idea of Outfit Wars should be the nature of the live game itself. We have no development in terms of addressing live server or anything. Yeah. Yeah, just the reality of development velocity is a hard one to face. What can actually be produced with the resources that are available and the time? How often do you actually have three-way fights on live anyway? Good point. You made a meta for your pseudo-competitive event. Why can't you do anything with the actual game? Cursed Rel. Yeah, Demon Rel. I read the chat from top down. I'm a novice chat reader. I didn't mean to make Rel a demon. Hold on, let's fix Rel. We can fix Rel, I think. He doesn't deserve it. There we go. Angel Rel, the redemption. Tarek, I saw your name on live yesterday, man. When I was streaming, you killed me a couple times. I didn't feel good. That Cheeto dust must have given you the power to defeat me. Baby Seal looks like he's about to do the clubbing. Yeah, you're right. There's an ominous tone to this now. Guys, don't hate the artist, hate the art. Is that better? Okay. And the dark salt shaker. Nah, man, you should kill me. If I suck, you should kill me every time. It's the way it should work. And I do kind of suck. The artist makes the art. Yeah. Well, bros, the next thing I was going to do after presenting my hypothesis was actually, I was thinking y'all were going to tear it down. But maybe I'm onto something. I was going to listen to some of the interview that Shoctorr you did with the Recursion guys, and try to extract some value, some extra value from it. Does that interest y'all? See if I can hook that up. Fuck, I'm doing my show. Hell yeah, brother.
And so then we'll
my show, my thoughts. Okay. Okay. I'm having a boomer moment. I can't remember how to bring this back onto my stream. Boomer panic. Okay. I think I got it now. Boom. Okay.
come right back and you guys get a chance to finish it off. Let's go and hear it right now.
Yo, do you guys wanna wait until they're done farming money and then we can talk about what actually happened, or?
That could work.
I don't know. Do you guys, either of you guys have to like?
Is this Disenfranchised you're talking to, Shoctorr? I think I recognize his voice.
Log off, or I don't know. I know people have work the next day.
That is you, Shoctorr.
I might. Well, no, I'm gonna DJ.
I know you hate hearing yourself talk. I can relate to that.
But I might need to
I mean, I hate hearing myself
here
talk.
and there. So.
Okay. I kind of want to hear.
Therum. Yeah. I had the pleasure of interviewing Therum and Sale on my show almost a year ago after the first Outfit Wars, and those guys really impressed me with their stoicism. I listened to this interview already, and I heard much more of that too. It can be tough to be the big man.
A little bit more of what like Pale Tiger and people are saying, because then that'll probably help me ask you guys more questions that are like pertinent to what's going on. So maybe like in 10 minutes, is that fine? I'll just mute and then you guys can stay on this channel.
By all means.
All right, perfect. All right, we will talk to him momentarily.
Going to be on the TR.
I just want to get more information from here.
A two-way affair, is what we thought would happen, but we ended up people.
So for those of y'all who just joined the stream with the raid, we already listened to Pale Tiger's point of view. We listened to Rasp's point of view. So I'm just trying to paint a broad brush, make sure we don't miss anything important. Important context is important.
Really liked our performance last week, and we were.
And yes, we gutted through Arshee eating popcorn.
Able to bring over 40
Oh wait,
people,
is this not
in the Outfit
Oh
Wars.
wait, they're not talking about the actual shit anymore, right? Oh wait, never mind. Wait, never mind. They're not talking about what's important anymore. So
all right.
Okay, so I guess walk me through what happened first, and then we can discuss what, I don't know, the implication it has on the game, how people are taking advantage of what just happened, etc. But like kind of walk me through like why this has even come to place in the first place for a lot of people that aren't from Connery, for example, and then we can kind of get forward into, I don't know, the match itself. But I'd love to know first like why is this even happening in the first place?
Well, I guess R18 and Pigs, you know, more, well, they're larger and more casual outfits, I guess I would put it. So they have a larger proportion of casual players. And I think a big thing that no one seems to have mentioned yet is, you know, R18 kind of got matched against us twice in a row. And so in this match, they were playing for a playoff position, which had they not been matched against us twice, you know, I think I'd be a bit more I don't know, angry, I guess, or antagonistic for.
Yeah, I got a comment. Van, you said that Shoctorr made the big time. I don't know. I think Shoctorr being on my team is more like me making the big time, to be honest.
What's evidently, you know, a pretty harsh double team, but you know, the first match happened.
It's true.
And it was a bit of an unintentional double team. At least the Pigs were somewhat still trying to win, basically, and weren't essentially playing Kingmaker the entire match. But for this one,
Lurker Shoctorr, huh?
Was rather evident early on, and it only got more so as the match transpired. And I think the fact that
look at Recursion showing an understanding for the motivations of the person who wronged them. It's enlightened, y'all. It's good. That's all I gotta say. Continue.
You know, R18 kind of wanted their playoff spot, which I'm almost certain they could have gotten, you know, other than the unfortunate circumstances that have occurred here. I don't know. I'm not vexed. I had a good time. A lot of our guys had a good time.
Shoctorr said it's kind of like I'm a big deal. Notice me. Yeah. It's weird how to knowing how to act in other streamers streams. I get that. It can be awkward sometimes. You want to jump in, but you don't want to you don't want to feel like you're putting on a show in someone else's chat. It's weird.
Okay.
GG.
GG. I mean, because I think even though like, because I agree, like I was playing with 69 KD yesterday.
Yeah, the raid justifies it. I think you're good. Follow Shoctorr, by the way, if you're watching this live. I mean, of course, if you're live, you're already following him. If you're watching this on YouTube, Shoctorr's good. You're on YouTube too, right, Shoctorr? I think I saw you start doing some stuff there. So yeah, follow him there. Only for memes and music. It's all good, brother. That's important.
Where KN1 kind of king made 1 CR. It wasn't to the same extent as this match. And I guess from the player's perspective, it is still like fun to play. It's almost like I brought it up yesterday. It's like you're playing like, I don't know, the only game I can think of is like Destiny, where it's like you're playing like PvE and you're outnumbered and it's like a raid boss type thing.
And there's a lot of chaos to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think from just like an integrity.
So the Outfit Wars is fun. This is something I keep hearing repeated. Like the actual playing the game is fun, which is, I think is worth stopping and amplifying. Like there is something good about that. And I'm not saying that it overrides or retorts anything, but I'm just pleased people are enjoying it. It's like Battlefield Conquest mode, but Conquest is not an esport. Mal. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right. It's fun, but what's the proper context for it? It's a good question to ask. Also, is this supposed to be an esport? And if it's not supposed to be an esport, what is it supposed to be? This is something I mentioned earlier, like about the messaging. And I think when Rel talked to you the day after this cast, Shoctorr, I have that time code too. I might get to it. I think he mentioned about how he could have done a better job of communicating what Outfit Wars should be and how people should engage with it. And if you do that, if you tell people, hey, here's this thing, here's how you use it, then it gives you like, let me think of a proper way to say this. It provides you something you can point back to when you want to reprimand someone for not playing in the spirit of the competition, like a Space Pigs, like a Pale Tiger. Yeah, it sets a precedent. You guys are putting great words to it too. Exactly. And I did read Rel's letter and talk about how it was kind of rushed and they would like to give it more time and all that stuff. And sometimes the hardest thing when you're getting something out the door is taking the time to really communicate. But man, it just underlines how important it is to like really just tell people what you expect from them so that they know how to engage, so that everyone can align and police each other. Second iteration. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another, what I'm perceiving is something others are feeling pained about, is how this is the second time we've seen it, the second round of feedback. And like, what are players supposed to expect about the next round? Like, this is still alpha. Are we going to see beta in 2022? Like, I don't think that's what's intended. That's not what's certainly been broadcast by RPG, but how many times can you ask for people to trust you, right? When it comes to this stuff.
Standpoint, like this is, I guess, the developers trying to make something that's competitive, similar to like, I don't know, Server Smash was or Lane Smash is, and you can.
And Shoctorr, here you're guessing at the intention, which you shouldn't be having to do. You shouldn't have to guess.
Down to like PIL, for example, and like the 6v6 format, but like it's from the viewing experience and like me streaming it. It's just disappointing to see like one team just get absolutely focused to the extent that it's not even like being hidden in some sense of like, oh maybe it's collusion. Like it's extremely obvious. Like,
well, in cases where it's as evident as tonight, for sure, I think it's probably only a bit more entertaining than a ghost match where two teams just don't show up. But I think in more ideal circumstances, where you have more evenly matched teams, it could still be pretty interesting. If each team has a chance at winning, and so no one feels compelled to play Kingmaker, so early on in the match, therefore no team really gets that runaway of point scoring. I think there's still a lot of interesting situations that can develop, but obviously the important thing there is teams kind of need to be playing to win.
There has to be like essentially integrity in the format.
Yeah.
So I guess from like the actual player standpoint of it, like there was, so I'm assuming you were like the platoon lead force commander, correct? Or
yeah.
Like, so looking at it from like the map point of view, where you saw, and I was bringing this over and over, the point that was closest in between, so it was closest to the TR warp gate, but it was on the lane between TR and NC. That base was held for the entirety of the match. Like, I'm assuming you were seeing that, and then you were also just seeing like that south lane getting pushed over and over by TR. And then majority of the time that I was watching you guys, though, it was you guys versing R18. And then it looked like you guys had a couple of guys. Like, I was watching TJ like literally farm like a fuck ton of them with nothing but mithril and like a repair Sunday, and then he was using the Colossus. But like, so you guys had like a few guys down there in the south, but the majority of you guys were fighting in the north. Like, from a map point of
Cherry says, well, yeah, last match we had some double team moments and we pulled off a W, but it isn't fun if you lose because their teams just fight you. Right, right. It's fun to win a double team, but it sucks to lose one. Why is there no round robin? It's a good question. Depends on the context of double team. Losing isn't inherently unfun. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I suppose losing, again, it kind of comes back to what people should be doing. How does a duplicate match happen? Yeah. Yeah, like you guys are all calling out good questions about the details and the infrastructure behind this whole thing occurring. Like, yeah, having an outfit war is a great thing, but like the outfit war itself has to sit in a context, a superstructure that makes sense, that people can figure out how to hook into. And it's just a little too loosey-goosey. Howard did get double teamed and they came out on top just by being better, which is sick. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful to see a double team win. Fucking love to see that shit.
Of you, I guess like what was it that you were seeing, and like when like at one point, like did you guys ever like give up, or you guys, because I understand like the vibe, like I know a lot of similar people, I guess, to like your outfit on the Emerald side, because I've always only played on Emerald. And it's like, you know, we're just here to farm and shoot mans and click heads.
That's
it's
Emerald.
like, oh, we lost and whatever. Like last night in 69 KD, like we weren't like mauling that we lost. It was more just like lol, look at these fuckers. But like, I guess moving forward, like, is it like, are you guys even interested in playing anymore, or?
I don't think that's necessarily our take on it.
Oh, go ahead.
Obviously, there's still a lot of interesting situations, fun situations that can develop with regards to the whole tri-faction thing. Obviously, it's not traditionally competitive, but you know, if you have 3 evenly matched or evenly enough match teams where each stands a chance at winning, I think there could still be a lot of just fun and a reason to keep trying, I guess. And you know, when something like tonight kind of occurs, it's due to, you know, these types of like in-game pseudo political reasons where this group doesn't like that one and they share that mutual disdain with another group, and so they decide to collude and double team, or at least, you know, ensure that the other team doesn't win. And I think, yeah, that's kind of shitty, but
yeah, so is Therum trying to be, you know, is he trying to put a happy face on it? Like, how much of this is the truth coming out? I see Shoctorr saying, you don't understand his response here, because later he says he only wants his boys to have fun. Yeah, it's not easy to, dude, talking to people live is hard. I hear that, man. Shoot mans play games, who cares about the end result? Yeah, like, I think that there's a time and a place for these things, right? Like when you're logging on to Emerald, you know, at the end of a day of work or whatever, just for the stream, and you're planning to like just want to shoot some dudes, that's fine. But when you organize 48 people and you plan a strategy, you go through all this hassle to arrive at this thing. It's not just about showing up and clicking heads. Like, and what he says about being able to find the fun, I think is really admirable. it's very stoic. It's showing an acceptance for the situation to say, okay, I'm not going to be upset at the situation I'm in. I'm going to try to figure out how to make the best of what is in front of me, which is a way to go through life that can give you a lot of clarity and peace. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say from this read if that's really at the heart of the way Recursion feels. I have a lot of admiration for those guys, but it's hard to believe they're not pissed, honestly, from an outsider's perspective. Lex says, "This is an inherent problem during doing this, though, making an event that forces casual players to be sufficiently sweaty." Right. Yeah, it's an interesting choice to have this be a format that would be engaged by the whole community, and what that means. I think that there's an alternate universe where this is not a format with 150 players. It's a format with 15 players, or a squad or two, or even half squad or two, and then you have the live server for the casual players who want to play in big platoons, take orders, that kind of stuff, or just casually farm and click heads, and then you have the organized stuff for the people who actually want to put in the effort and the passion and want to show off the game at its best and flex. It's annoying to get mean comments from people when you lose and get called bad constantly. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how negativity from strangers on the internet can affect us, isn't it? Like, I'm right there with you. Like, one person saying one shitty thing just to get a rise out of you can weigh more heavily than 10 nice things that you hear from your bros. I feel that. Then you're having people who are clearly not on the level of others having to go up against them, and then you see shit like this combined with the awful format and no rules. Yeah, I think that there's probably an acceptable place for stomps to happen. Where like if you're signing up for a competitive format, you're going to face the sweaty players who are going to want to play together. Like, yeah, you're signing up for a learning experience, and it's okay for a stomp to occur. It's not a bad thing. Again, it comes down to what is Outfit War supposed to be, or what is the goal of this? Who should engage with it, and why? And it seems like the answer, in the absence of an answer, something telegraphed directly from Rogue Planet, that maybe the answer is it's supposed to be everybody. And the thing that I always say is, if you're making something for everybody, you're making it for nobody. Illinois, that's the problem with RPG's mixed messaging. There's confusion over what Outfit Wars is supposed to be. Shoctorr, I love the 1v1v1 is better because it's 1v1 the better team would win without giving the other team a chance, insinuating that the better team doesn't deserve to win. Well, Lex says, I don't think anyone necessarily deserves to win in that case, or else everything everywhere would always be chalk. Right. Deterministic versus free will. That's not the history of any. Yeah, and in fact, upsets are one of the most exciting things that can happen in something like this. Yeah. I think I get what you're saying, Shoctorr, is you want to see something that allows good organization and good play to shine. And where the spirit of competition is embraced. And whether that's something that's like enforced formally by like an on-rails experience where you can't veer outside the lines, you can't do something bad, or where it's like the format is set up for that, or whether it's something where it's a little more open-ended, but you provide guidance and support and punishment to players who don't act in a way that's in good faith. Like, it's a good question. Should a favored team in a 3-team matchup lose if they fail to defend the double team? And if you say yes to that, what kind of a world does that open up? And what kind of a competition is it? If you do that, if you say that Recursion deserves to lose because they didn't account for and defend the double team, then to me what that suggests is it brings the focus of the actual outcome outside of the Outfit Wars match itself. Because the collusion that we saw didn't happen during the 45 minutes or whatever it was that the match was happening. It happened outside the match. And the thing you want to have happen outside the match is like people getting better, people honing the skill of playing the thing, not this stuff. And if you do that, it has a negative effect on the format over time, where people don't credit the win. People don't accept winning as being meaningful. And if winning is not meaningful in your competition, then what have you made? It's a tough reality. It's a very, very tough reality. And I really don't envy Rogue Planet trying to sort this out. And I would hate to see them take the route of ignoring you guys. I think that's a dangerous route. I don't think ignoring is probably too strong of a word. I would hate to see RPG go the route of ignoring the need to let good players be good and let that matter. PlanetSide is a formula that intrinsically dilutes the agency of any single person or any single group. Bring more dudes, right? And is that okay? I used to think it was, but now I'm not so sure. All right, y'all are chatting. The format lends itself to this. Something else is RPG trying to ban ringers, but you can just make a new account and farm characters for Overwatch. Yeah, so the free-to-play nature of the game totally, I think, sidelines like ringer prevention and that kind of stuff. I think you just got to let that go. You got to let it happen. The entire ringer thing was a huge issue in the first one. They basically did nothing about it. Yeah, shit. This is another difficult dimension to tackle. I'm going to scan the rest of the chat to make sure I'm not so far behind. Takes a few hours of map hopping, easy caps and defenses. I'm farming ringer accounts for my ringers. It's lol easy. First one, VKTZ recruited me, Trey's to roast a bunch of other guys, and I just bowed out because it's not the spirit of the competition, it's fake. Same thing is happening in the alt that I'm playing with. Leader just farms uncertain accounts in case people want to join in the memes. Yeah, it's not outfit wars without a large majority of people being your outfit mates. I think that's a very true thing you said, Cherry. The outfit is Doge on Soltech. Stack fit wars. So here's a question. Why does it have to be outfits? So there are games that have tackled this in different ways. Like, why not disambiguate your live outfit from the team you play Outfit Wars with? The giant PR push, bringing back outfit players. Yeah. I mean, that's the company line. But we get to question the company line. That's the luxury we have of the platform of Twitch. Because stacking you can't prevent. Good players want to play with good players. That's just the way it goes. It's not nefarious. It's not manipulative. It's just life. That's why I call this culture wars. People who want to get better in a game like PlanetSide and will put in the time, make their own culture. And that's legit. I don't know. I think that there's too much credit perhaps given to the idea that Rel has some grand vision that he's enacting upon the game. The reality of making any kind of software is that there's 1,000 damned compromises. And video games are no exception. In fact, in many ways, they're they're a much bigger example of that idea. Look at games like Anthem that had no strong internal direction and fizzled on launch. Look at a game like New World that is shopping around for a design and delaying and delaying and delaying because Amazon has huge pockets and they can do whatever they want. They fucking killed Crucible because it wasn't a critical success. Like, making games is fucking hard. It's about reviving outfits, Shoctorr. Yeah. Yeah, that was a stated goal. But it's a goal that we should talk about and question. Shoctorr, 24 v24 might be a sweet spot. Yeah. So yeah, like, would all these shenanigans of outfits stuff be necessary if it just was fewer people up on the stage? Like, I get that hurts the Zerg fits, but yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with asking what this is for. Yeah, Shoctorr, I get what you're saying. And one of the other things, the complexities, and Shoctorr, I know you saw this because you were casting it, is how the heck do you cast 150 people? Like, it's the thing that makes esports casting good is being able to tell player stories, I think. That's been my experience with doing it in the limited way that I've approached it in the past. That's why you love speedrunners. That's why I fucking love speedrunners, man. You are killing it with that. I love that format. Yeah. It's easy as hell to watch. And because it's two people and you can get them up on your Discord, like talking to you, give you the post game, like, the stakes are immediate, they're real, they're obvious. You can see it playing out. It's a well-designed, concise, competitive format that you have going, which I am a big fan of. That's why I've been, tweeting about it and shit. Girls or whatever, Outfit Wars is forever. You literally made me stop playing just to agree with you on that. Definitely player background. Yeah. And again, it comes down to what I hate to keep repeating this, but like, it is such a missing piece of context of what Outfit Wars is for. We're all guessing. It's like a Rorschach for us, where people are projecting their wants onto the format because it's not clearly enough defined. And PlanetSide, in many ways, revels in that ambiguity. Like, that's the strength of the live server environment, right? Is like, it's not one thing. Like, it's not a skill head clicker thing. It's not just a war tactics thing. It's not a tank column thing. It's everything and none of it all at once. The only VOD you've ever come back to watch after you missed it was Speedrunners. Yeah. Like, it's honestly very high quality PlanetSide stuff. A funny thing, Shoctorr, actually, I think my buddy Rugcutter was pinging you about this because Rugcutter came to me with this exact same idea of speedrunners last year, but I just didn't have the appetite to figure that shit out like the way you have. It's not my wheelhouse. I'm a talker, not a whatever that is. And you're doing good work with it, man. Rail and its progenitors have a real problem leaning into things that work. You see what works and do the complete opposite, essentially. Again, I encourage us to think about what is it that Rel wants? And is what we see what Rel wants? How would we ever know? We don't get to. That's a shitty thing. So here's a question about how to conduct oneself. And I'll pose it in an open-ended fashion. It's like if you see someone road raging, right? Let's see you're on the highway and some asshole cuts you off, right? You know, you might mutter under your breath, say, fucking asshole, screw you, man. And let's think about the way that this person lives in your head. So is this person a complete inconsiderate asshole? They have something against you personally? What is going on with them? Or can we accept the fact that we will never know exactly what's going on with that person and accept that maybe they're on the way to the hospital because their partner got into an accident, or they just spilled coffee all over their crotches and they're going crazy? Or. Fake analogy, sir. Maybe it is fake. I don't think it is. I think we can accept a lack of context and make room for it without locking onto a simplified narrative that doesn't take that into account. Below the 2 squads, you start to lose your ability to hold against the Zerg, actually engage in combined arms, which is theoretically Rogue's idea of Overwatch to have competitive combined arms where armor doesn't really matter. You don't know people's story, so you shouldn't judge them without pointing some of these issues for almost a decade. All right, Kevin Jordan, fuck. I am fascinated by Kevin Jordan. For those of you guys who don't know, he's a ex-WoW vanilla developer, and he's all over Twitch spouting his game design wisdom. Fascinating guy. He show up on WoW streamers' podcasts and just tells them they're wrong to their face. It's so good. So good. So there's a word for this phenomenon. It's called the fundamental attribution error. And the fundamental attribution error is something we commit when we attribute a dimension of someone's behavior to a quality that they possess, rather than attributing it to something that's occurring in their environment. Is Rel fucking us, or is Rel fucked? That's what it boils down to. And just because we don't get to know the answer doesn't mean we can't think about it. At least I love to think about it, but then again, I'm a fucking masochist. When you see the environment change time and time again, the result's the same. Yes, there is definitely an important, there is, the evidence before your eyes should be privileged. I agree with that. Except now you're able to teach noobs how to get a 1 KD. Whining about the new player experience. Yeah. I think the new player experience is a red herring. I really do. This is one of my planet-side hot takes. You started a Word doc last weekend, and that was the title. New player experience is a red herring. Well, yeah, let's jam on this for a minute. We're really tangenting, but fuck it. I don't think you can convince people to play PlanetSide by improving their first hours of experience. Really, I think people are smart. I think they know what they're up for. There's this great interview that Danny O'Dwyer, no clip on YouTube, did with the Warframe development team, and that's one of the things that that they said about Warframe is they didn't try to dumb down their game because they knew that because they trusted the idea that players were smart and they knew if they'd be up for it. Tarek says you feel bad. You feel like you push some of these new players away. I get that. I totally get that. Seal clubbing guilt. You can make a better experience for everyone. It trickles down. Oh, trickle down, man. Don't use that phrase. A basic tutorial on gunplay would be useful. Yes, like we can all agree that there are certain things, certain ways of presenting the game and explaining it that would be good for new players. Totally agree. We're not talking economics, sir. Yes, I know. But like word association and connotation is real. Like Words are powerful. When I say that the new experience is a red herring, I don't mean that it should not get any attention. I mean that it will not save PlanetSide, and it cannot save PlanetSide. And I think that the focus on it is a big risk. And what focusing on the new player experience says to me, and I would like to be wrong about this. So if someone has a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. I really would. But my take on it is that if you focus on the new player experience, what you're doing is you're banking on the idea that people can be convinced to play your game who would otherwise let it go. And I don't think PlanetSide is that kind of game. Maybe I'm wrong. What's the inflection point between I'm done and I'm going to keep playing? Where is it? Do you guys remember when you first decided you were going to keep playing PlanetSide? I can remember what it was for me. I mean, I'm a PlanetSide boomer though. Like I've been playing PlanetSide for 18 years. I'm a PlanetSide 1 beta guy. I missed PlanetSide 2's release. But when I got into it, I was terrible. And I played solo, so I made a mistake. I shouldn't have played solo. But I played solo and I was so bad. I got so discouraged. And you know what? You know what raised my confidence? Y'all are going to hate this. What raised my confidence to play PlanetSide was I embraced light assault shotgun, tower humping. That got my KD up, got my confidence up, and eventually I graduated into real guns. You can argue about how effective that was. Zoomer scum. The gamer today must be handed everything. They must have a tooltip telling them how to press it. Yeah, I mean, there are certainly some people who think that. But think of, there are games out there that don't do this and are still massively successful. Winston, you know, you just keep coming back. Me too, brother. Going into PlanetSide 2 should be like going into Tarkov on a fresh wipe. Bro, this is exactly the comparison I made when I was making my case to Kamikaze when I interviewed him, that PlanetSide 2 should be presented as a hardcore game, not as some big war sim kind of game. That's my exact argument. Prepare people for the experience they're likely to have. Set the expectation early. People who want to be masochists and want to die a lot, because let's be honest, like a sandbox game is a niche. Like MMOs went towards theme parks a long time ago for a good reason, because they're more broadly palatable to people. The average gamer has the inclinations of the average gamer has changed over the last 18 years because the size of the total gaming market has dramatically increased. So rather than have a bunch of nerds who are figuring out how to download games via CD-ROM and going to the store and playing PlanetSide 1 in their beige boxes, the Dark Souls of FPS. Yes, you died. The average gamer has changed, and we have to recognize that. But we don't have to include every single average gamer in PlanetSide. A game like this, and any game that has not achieved broad critical success, owes it to themselves to consider what their actual market is, what their target. And I'm really just like thinking out loud at this point. I hope you all forgive me. But PlanetSide 2 doesn't have to appeal to everybody. It just has to appeal to the people who will play PlanetSide. I have tried to expose a lot of my friends to PlanetSide 2 over the years. And these are people who back in the early 2000s would show up and play and practice 2 nights a week and then play scheduled matches 2 nights a week. We organized on IRC and coordinated league matches on community-created forums. Like, these were people who were willing to nerd the hell out. But these people, 15 years later, even though they're still putting 6 hours a day into gaming at some point, they bounce off of PlanetSide. They're just not up for it. And that's okay. Hell, I probably spend 9 months of the year where I'm not up for it. Like I go in waves with PlanetSide. I think I'm about to enter a real active wave though. I'm really feeling the itch. Players should know they're going to be playing the Dark Souls of FPS. You can't fix stupid. Yeah, I mean. And yet we have a huge new player experience problem here. Pinhead says, same here, man. We're struggling to hit that 1 KD and decided to switch to the light assault shotgun loadout. Team playing after that. Hey, light assault shotgun saves it. Helicoptering around. Hell yeah, brother. It's fun. It's just stupid fun. And there are times when I'll play it when I want stupid fun, but most of the time I'm actually playing something that I think is a little more skillful. And I definitely rage against shotgunners from time to time, like everyone does. The average gamer should lift weights and maybe they could aim well. Right on, brother. I need Shoctorr's right on, brother voice. Hell yeah, brother. Something like that. Is the chat still showing up on the stream for you guys? Average player also has sub 1 KD in every Battle Royale game. Yeah. Like, I have friends who unironically play Modern Warfare for like 15, 20 hours a week. People just want to turn their brains off sometimes when they game. I don't get it. Like, I'm not that kind of a person. Like, I have ADHD, so I'm always trying to get my brain into action. But man. Well, I think at this point, we've well and thoroughly railroaded the rest of my conversation, and it feels kind of silly to go back to looking over these VODs. I was planning to talk about the rest of the Shoctorr Recursion interview. I mean, it's just the Recursion guys being very chill dudes and very accepting. They do call it out as being lame, which is good, because it was. And then I was going to reflect on Shoctorr's conversation with Rel. But honestly, I think I'm just too tired to do that. Thinking this hard is hard work. So I thought about it, and I think I'm going to have to save the rest of this convo for another day. I have to respect that I inhabit a mortal shell, and I need sleep. There may come a time where I can do this for a day job and truly put in all the time that I want to, but that day is not this day. Rel sufficiently pacified our boy. I don't think Shoctorr's pacified. He definitely was angry, though. Sometimes anger is okay. Skip through the personal drama stuff and go to the game content. It's a bit more relevant. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to come back to it, Illander. Tarek chatting it up. Cool. 6 p.m. for you, Illander. Word. All right. Well, so let me give you all my pitch. I'm Deeg. I try to do thoughtful, rounded, discussion-based content on a variety of things, and PlanetSide is one of my favorite topics. Love this game, always have. Sure, I always will. And I'm really excited about what's going on with Outfit Wars and the community's way, how it's engaging with it. And to find out what it is that's actually needed. If you like this kind of discussion content, follow me here. I'm also on, this will also all end up on YouTube. You're hearing my rapid decline in my ability to speak. It's a marker of needing to end the stream. Deeg BS on YouTube. I also do interviews with lots of people you know from PlanetSide and other games. I'm having an interview this Thursday with the associate narrative director at ArenaNet, a company who develops Guild Wars 2. So if you're interested in that, that'll be happening at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Meantime, y'all just keep clicking heads. We're going to figure this out. For some reason, I have faith. And thanks to Shoctorr and everyone else for hanging out. This has been really fun. And have an awesome night.